Bada boom. Okay. Um, so last time you guys went to the ball, Duncan had his Euphoria episode. He just hit up that
Hell
dance
yeah,
floor
I
with the
did.
other teens, and people loved it. He had some conversations with Core, about, love versus worship. The king freaking got down and kissed his hands because he was so excited about Duncan potentially becoming a cleric at one of the temples in the Bay of Cups. So there was a lot going on. Rita was killed.
Yep.
Rita was
Yeah.
killed by Orem at the end of their dance.
Crazy.
The dance
Don't know
during
what
which he basically tried to give her the ick for Riley by being like, you look just like his
this is
mom.
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not mention this at
So
the
rude.
time. I'll say now that you're like out
But
of the
we've seen
ball.
her portrait, haven't
Yeah,
we?
you've seen her portrait. You don't look like his mom.
Yeah. I was like,
Damn.
crazy if this is when Jamie
Yeah.
points.
No. You don't look like his mom.
That's that old age getting to him. His eyes are starting to fade.
I mean, it's like human curly dark hair. He's like, you guys are exactly the same.
So he's racist.
Oh my
So
god.
yeah, yeah, I mean,
Boo.
absolutely, he's racist. So he's like, you know what?
Boo. Boo.
Oh my god, what is that? Not fucking
I heard you when
soundboard.
you said you said Orem earlier. I was like, I gotta pull up a boo sound effect real quick.
Oh my fucking god, that is amazing. The choir of boos. Oh yeah, Rita was murdered. You all went out to the balcony and were trying to like settle things. Saphiel pulled Duncan away. Rita and Riley conversed about, why. Well, Rita was like, "Don't be an idiot and do this," and Riley was like, "I have to." They had a nice little kiss, and then went their
I don't
separate
think
ways.
it was nice. I think it was
Okay.
a heartbreaking conversation. And then all of a
No,
sudden
this is
kissed
all
her.
easy breezy rom com. This is just, there has to be bumps along the way.
That's true.
Right.
But mostly they were just laughing and some ice cream was spilled on the shirt, but ultimately it's fine.
Yeah, it was very sweet.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, no one implied that they don't even want to be alive. Orem
Yeah.
Orem then transformed into a summer Eladrin, taking everyone by surprise. Oh, right, he charmed you all, which is over. You're no longer charmed. The two of you convinced Kor that he should stay for the time being in the palace because you just don't have the resources, and like it'll probably just make things worse if he comes with you at this point. So he stayed. You then met Lucky outside the tailor shop, and he had your stuff. You told them to get into the bag. You met up with Skelly here, and you came upstairs to find Ranger J. And then you two had a big conversation about what you want your relationship to be going forward. You told Ranger J your real names. He told you his name was Jeremiah. And then he asked you
Not
both.
Maya.
Not Maya. I can't
No.
believe you said that, JT. He said, yeah, not Maya. And oh, and then he asked you if either of you have heard of the Underdark. You both said no. I'm actually going to do a little bit of a, not necessarily a retcon, but I want to give your characters a beat to actually think about that, because I think there's a pretty good chance that at least you, Rita, have heard of the Underdark. So why don't you both do history checks for me?
Okay.
Because the Underdark is not just a Terrath phenomenon. It's like,
Oh, like the plane, the Underdark.
yeah. Well, it's not a plane. It's just under the ground.
I've
It's
never
just
heard of it.
What did? Okay.
Fuckland.
Ooh. Okay. So Duncan got a
Yeah.
17. Rita
Duncan
got
knows all about that
8.
shit.
Okay. Yeah. Rita.
Smartest
At
boy alive.
most, right? You would have heard about it in passing. The thing is, the Underdark does go under the ocean too. So, like, you've probably heard it. You've heard the term said, but you've no idea what it is. You don't know like what they were talking about. Captain was very like he didn't talk about it, which makes sense for him. So yeah, you don't know anything about it. Duncan, you in your spiritual learnings did learn about the Underdark because Eugis and Othander are both very like what they do has a lot to do with like the concept of light. right? And like birth and rebirth and all that kind of stuff. They both kind of like have that. So you also had to learn sometimes about what exists, right, in the absence of light, both literally, but also in terms of like light versus dark, good versus bad, that kind of vibe. So you did learn a little bit about the fact that there is this civilization underground under all of Greater Norland that has intentionally cut itself off from those who live above, right? Um, and you just learned that it was a terrible. It was almost like in the temple, like kind of like a ghost story thing, right? And you know, if you don't follow the path of the light, you're gonna end up in the spider kingdom, and the spiders are gonna get right. Like maybe the older clerics would sometimes like try and freak out the babies with this kind of like the spiders are gonna crawl out of their caves tonight from Underdark and come get you. So you would have very like limited knowledge. But what you do know is because like just in Greater Norland, it's just not known of in general that much. Because it is so cut off. But what you do know about it is negative. You know, there are like evil creatures down there, and especially spiders. That's what people reference a lot from the Underdark. Yeah. So, if you
Do I know?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do I know when the like split happened with the Underdark, like when people went underground, so deep underground?
Time immemorial. We don't know. Nobody really knows. It's too ancient.
Okay.
To like, and it's almost like there definitely seems to have been an effort within the past 1,000 years to destroy that history too. So you know specifically that like even if it's something that you were interested in, or if you were kind of like, what's going on with these spiders? Like the only answers you would have gotten really is, it's best not to meddle in that business, right? Because we've been cut off, and we were cut off for a reason, and it's best that it stays that way because we don't want them coming up here, and we don't want to go down there.
A little bit like the witchcraft of this world, because whereas necromancy is like literally has a religion, this is like actual like kind of dark arts or like forbidden knowledge, kind of.
Totally, yeah. Dark arts, forbidden knowledge. That's very much how it would have been framed for you. Forbidden, yeah. Don't even.
All right, so I'm a little spooked. I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared. All right.
Yeah. I guess I'll do it quick. Do you try and hide that, or are you like, oh?
No, I don't try to hide it. I think I like kind of react like, oh, we're okay, and I probably spend some time looking, you know, across the ground trying to remember, all the things that I've been told about it.
Okay. So Jay, noticing that you look a little unsettled by that, says, oh, right, you're both human, so I'm guessing neither of you have dark vision or something equivalent?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. I'm not used to having humans up here, hold on. And he goes over to his lantern and he, like, turns it up a bit. Because it is getting very dark in the room. So he turns it up and comes back over and says, oh, okay, sorry, that should help. All right, as he turns on that light and it lightens up his features and you can see him better for the first time since you returned from the ball, I want you both to make intelligence checks. Rita, you make yours with advantage. I will say the DC for this, though, to get basically anything is 20. So I'm not thinking you'll get anything, but just in case.
Okay.
Hey, baby, about to roll it right here.
Here we go.
Okay, not that one. And the second one, not 20. No. It's a 10.
Okay, so we got 9. Okay, yeah, so you don't notice anything. Great. So he comes over and he says,
Damn it! I want to know who he's related to!
I feel like I'm supposed to be noticing something, Duncan says.
He looks at you and says,
Why?
Yeah,
Me too.
I know there's a lot going on in this room.
I had 5 cups of wine today, and I think they're finally hitting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It definitely didn't hit me earlier at all. Not a bit.
Yeah, I haven't been drunk this entire night.
Nope.
So, Jay says, all right, the Underdark. I'm not surprised that neither of you have heard of it. I know that it's not. It's even less commonly spoken of in Greater Norland than here, is what I've heard. Just like in Greater Norland, I mean, it's the same thing. It's just like spans under Tareth as well. So technically they're connected. I do think actually that most of the points of connection have been filled in, because the dwarves who run the death mines didn't want that to be a point of access to Tareth. So I think all of those have been filled in. There aren't any still open that I know of. So, you know, it's not like we'll be able to get too far under there. But it's a whole civilization underground. Rita, are you surprised at all by this information?
Sorry, I got lost. That the Underdark is a place underground?
Yes, it is a subterranean civilization, full of, you know,
fighters.
Different... Yes.
Oh,
okay.
Am I surprised by this? Is
yes.
the question.
Yes.
Oh, I just know that it's underground. I didn't think there was anything there. Just like monsters, right?
Yes, there are spiders. That is also where drow originate from. Do you guys know what drow are?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, you both know what drow are. I mean, you know, like, what they look like, but you probably didn't know that they came from the Underdark.
I met a very nice drow butler tonight, so yeah, I'm very familiar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there are plenty of drow here in Tareth. Obviously, the royal family is drow. Anyway, we will be going to a city called Bliggenstone, which is run by deep gnomes. Okay, deep gnomes are don't be afraid of the deep gnomes. Most of them are fine, lovely people. You might not even see any, to be completely honest. Bliggenstone is also known as the City of Speaking Stones because people often go there and like hear voices, but they never see the gnomes. So,
well, I hear voices all the time, Ranger J.
The gnomes?
Oh, is the whose voices?
Oh, it's not a big deal. It's just in my dreams and stuff. But go ahead.
Oh, I mean, as long as it's in your dreams, I think that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Wait, going to Bludgeonstone.
Bliggenstone.
Bliggen.
Yes.
Bliggenstone.
Yeah.
Bliggenstone. Okay.
Anyway,
and that's where the gambling is?
Yes, you're not going to see that much of the Underdark because the entrance we're going into is pretty close to the gambling center that people like to use in Bliggenstone from the Bay of Cups. So don't worry too much about the Underdark in general, but there are some creatures that will probably be alarming to you. But you know, I've been down there plenty of times. There's nothing you can't handle. More immediately, we are going to be crossing the bay to that entrance. It's the only entrance. It's the only physical entrance. There are various portals throughout Tareth, but those require, you know, funds and other influence to get to. For walking, we have to go through the Bay Desert, and the first chunk of that is not infested by Gorin's Bane, so we're just gonna take a nice, like, 12-hour walk through sand. It's fine. And we're doing it at night, so it's not going to be too warm or anything. Though at this time of year, it's not that bad anyway. And like I said, though, we can't take animals, so we do have to walk. The only problem with it not being infested with Gorin's Bane is that means there are creatures, so there will be some combat involved. Are you both prepared for that?
Yeah.
Okay, unless we get very lucky, but I'm sure we'll see coyotes, wolves. I mean, maybe worse, but usually I can get around them.
Okay.
But it should be fine. After that, the second day of journeying is when we're going to hit Gorin's Bane, and that's when we need these potions. I'm going to give each of you 5, and he kind of shoves these like little bottles, 5 each, towards you two. And it's just these little bottles of like this yellow goldeny liquid. And he says, This is Antibane. You have to take it once every 12 hours. Usually the way I coordinate that is like sunset, sunrise, kind of, when you're traveling. If you have ingested it within the past day or night, Goran's Bane will leave you alone. We only need 4 each, technically, but I give a 5th just in case one breaks or something like that. So when we get to that leg of the journey, you'll drink your first potion, and then your second one, then we go in, and then on the way back, you drink your other 2. Is that clear?
That makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. Great. If something happens to me on the journey, that's why I gave you your potions now, just in case something happens to me and you need them. If I die or we lose track of each other, well, if we lose track of each other, you're just kind of on your own in terms of directions. But if something happens to me, if I die, I have this compass, and he takes out a little shiny compass from his pocket, and he says, "This compass will point you towards runes that I've left in the desert that direct you towards the entrance to the Underdark. So even if something happens to me, you should still be able to get there if you have this compass. Or it can also navigate you back. So just keep that in mind if something happens to me. Okay, any questions? Do you guys have any concerns?
Why would you die? You know, like what would be the big threat?
Yeah. That's a great question.
Oh, I just noticed that you had a mic issue. Why would I die? Well, there's all kinds of threats in the desert, right? Again, most of the bigger enemies I can get us around. There are sometimes dragons. Again, not usually a problem. But if one decided that I was a problem, it's a dragon. It could take me out, right? So there's always the potential of, getting seriously hurt or killed out there. That's just the reality of the situation. And in the event that that happens to me when I'm guiding people, I always want to make sure that they are able to get there on their own safely.
Okay. Well, if you die, Ranger J, don't worry. I can handle that.
Looks at you, and he says, "Yeah, I mean, as a fellow ranger, as a fellow ranger, I know that some of us are capable of that kind of thing. Good to know. Great.
But we already told you our real names. He's a cleric.
Oh, right. Yeah, if he's Duncan Daykeep, then yeah, he would be the cleric of Aegis, right?
That's right.
So of course you. Right. Yeah. Understood. Okay, I gotcha. Wow, yeah, that's
he's really good with a crossbow. Very good.
I do like to shoot a crossbow.
I can see. Yeah, I saw it, but you've got your crossbow. Frankly, should I call you two by your real names or what?
Great question. Maybe in the desert.
Yeah.
But if we're anywhere where some other people could potentially listen, not a great idea.
Oh, well, frankly, Naknad, when you said you were a ranger, I believed you, so I think you've got the spirit.
Oh, okay, that's great news, because I've been wanting to train that up a bit.
Yeah, really good. Now is your chance, certainly. Okay, well, if there are no other questions, we should head out as soon as we...
You have...
Yes.
Sorry. I do have a slight question. It's just, I'm remembering, these emotional moments and the fact that we told you the truth are all kind of colliding at once. Skeletons can't come with us, right?
Skeletons can come. We will pour potion on them every 12 hours.
Wait, so do we need extra potions then?
Well, I gave you each 5. I have 5, and I made 3 extra.
Yeah,
Are
they are
they?
bone. That,
Mm-hmm.
that's not great.
I don't think they're gonna need full doses though, since it's going to be directly on them. So I think it'll be okay. If they don't want to risk it, obviously tell them to stay. But I
Hey,
mean, I
guys,
can't guarantee
pull out the
anyone.
back and I
So
rattle it.
Yeah,
Guys,
Kelly, lucky.
get out.
yes, what is it?
Do you want to come with us, or would you rather stay here?
I'm hoping to be
very
buried here
dangerous.
somewhere anyway. If my bones are eaten by vines, I suppose that's one way to pass on.
Right, and you did want to go that way because you're pretty sure that's where your home is anyway.
I would rather see my homeland one last time than be safe here in this unfamiliar place.
Lucky, or not Lucky, Skelly, would you mind staying?
I am gambling. That is my whole quest.
Okay.
I guess that's a yes.
I guess they're both coming with us, yeah.
Ranger J says, oh, well, if they're already dead, it's not too surprising that they're not super worried about it.
Yeah. I was hoping we could, because like you said, because they were bones, they could, be in danger. So in my head, I was just like, whoa, okay, well then maybe we leave them here and they can start some rumors or something. Maybe not a good idea. Okay, they should come, right, Duncan?
Yeah, I mean, they might, they come in, their help comes in a pinch every once in a while.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Quiet.
They still need to teach us how to gamble. And Skelly needs to teach us how to cheat.
Well, there'll be plenty of time for that in the desert. Alright, so you're each gonna need one of these lamps. Go ahead and grab one, I'll tell you about it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, these lamps are made with oil blessed by Lathander from the temple in the temple district. Have either of you ever dealt with Lathander oil lanterns before?
I think I've encountered one before. Yes, but I didn't use it.
All right, so honestly, my clients usually have dark vision, so I don't mess with them that much. But since you two are human, we'll get the chance to play around with these. How they work is when you light them. Well, okay, so I have. You can tell he's kind of like excited about the fact that he gets to use the lamps.
He's fully like nerding out.
Yeah, he's like, okay. So first of all, we have to attune to them. And okay. I was told how to do that. Do you guys want assistance, or should I just do it for you?
I want to do it myself.
Okay, so what you do is you stick your finger in the little oil well, and you can see where the oil is in the lamp. Yeah, and then you just make an X on your forehead with the oil. Okay. Is that done?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now you have to think about someone that you trust very much. Or if you are a follower of Lathander, you can just pray to him. But if you're not, then you have to think about someone who you trust. And I think it'll work. I mean, this is what I was told. So, Rita, who do you think about?
Just someone I trust?
Mm-hmm. Captain. All right. Do you have like a specific memory with him you remember, or?
I think if I'm thinking about trust specifically, I think I probably think of like one of the times that he was at the docks and he was like nearby when somebody was like talking crap about my mom, like talking about like the bastard child and all that kind of stuff. And probably how he just sort of ignored didn't just ignore it, but like pulled me off to the side somewhere else and then kept talking to me about other stuff. But it was probably before like he hired me. It was like one of the first moments where I was like, oh, somebody doesn't care.
Right. Right. All right. So as you're thinking about that, your light comes on. Duncan, who do you think about?
I think about my mentor from the temple master. I'm
Master
giving
Rinks.
him a name now. Huh?
Was it Rinks or was it someone else?
The like person who not the person who ran the whole temple, but the person who was directly responsible for like my training, Master Wio. I think it's how I'm gonna pronounce it. W-I-O.
W-I-O. W-Y. Okay, Master Wio. Love that. What was your memory with him?
I remember him. Well, first off, like our relationship growing up was brutal because back at home we had people who would make our beds and clean up after us and everything, but Master Wio made me do all of that. So I have to make my bed in the morning and I have to clean up my plates and do all of this stuff. But I remember once where he was teaching me to garden and it was really hot and I was uncomfortable, but I saw a dragonfly come by and was attacking some of the little bugs that were trying to get at our plants. And he was talking about the circle of life, and it was very beautiful.
All right, your light comes on as well. And then Ranger J focuses for a bit, and his light comes on. Yeah, so you notice that this light is not like normal light. You can't really tell why, though. There's just something very different and magical about it, and kind of sacred, since it is, stemming directly from some of Lathander's holiness. And what Ranger J says is, first of all, he's like, hell yeah. He's like, oh, it really worked. Okay, awesome. So these lights are only visible to you and people nearby who mean you well. So that means we can traverse the desert with them without enemies being able to see us from the light.
Okay.
Cool.
So, yeah. What was that?
Oh, the benefits of fire without the downside. That's cool.
Right.
So, Ranger J, I have a question.
Yes.
What if I mean well for somebody, but they don't mean well for me, and both of us have these lanterns? Does that mean I can see them, but they can't see me?
Well, you... It's clear he's getting, like, excited about the intricacies of the technology. And he's like, yeah. You would be able to see their light from their lantern. But they wouldn't be able to see you unless their lantern light was also showing you, right? Like, if you were close enough for that. Because then they'd be able to see you from their light. But... yeah, they wouldn't be able to see your light. And apparently it works no matter how close they are to you. Like, they can be standing a foot away, but if it's, like, pitch black, they can't see you, even though you can see everything.
But they can hear us.
They can hear you, yeah. So, we're not totally... it's not an invisibility spell,
unfortunately. We need some Lathander boots.
Yeah, I don't think he blesses boots. Probably have better luck with Kronos or someone for something like that, but all of his merch is just way too expensive. Anyway... I was very lucky to get this oil. I hear that it also burns much longer than normal oil, so I'll bring extra, but it should last us our whole trip. Yeah, so let me just make sure we put it away. Does the lighting turn off if I put the lantern away? Oh yeah, it looks like it does. Okay, that's fine though. Do you guys want to turn your lanterns off for now? Oh.
Yeah.
Rita, did you do... oh no, you put yours away. Okay, yeah, so you can put your lantern away or turn off, whatever you want to do. And he says, okay, I think with that, and then you suddenly just hear a lot of talking downstairs. Like, there's just a commotion, like some kind of, like someone everyone knows has just come in, or there's some kind of like cheer going around for something, or you don't know what it is, but suddenly the talking has just upped a lot downstairs.
Has to be our second.
Has to be our second. um, Ranger J looks weary of this, and he says,
Can we do a perception check?
"Oh, sure." On Jay?
No, on the
on the talking
sound. Can we like make out what people
Sure.
are
I mean,
saying?
if you come over more into the hall, because Jay does immediately, he like comes over to try and like suss out
okay.
what's going on. So if you just follow him, we just make. Oh right, he as he's leaving, he grabs one of the instruments. Whoops, not the bag. Put that down. Outside, he grabs one of the instruments and puts it on his back, and then he's ready to go. So yeah, he kind of goes down to the curtains and like peeks out to see what's going on. From there, I mean, you can make a perception check, but you can also just kind of hear what's going on if you want to just listen in for a bit.
Just kind of want to listen in.
Okay, so it seems like, from what you're hearing down there, it seems like what happened is someone just came from the ball, and they're spreading gossip. And
Very bad gossip.
Hearing this, Jay says, "All right, we just have to go. Just, don't make eye contact. Don't get sucked into any conversations." And he walks out, and he sees the arrows in Kor's portrait, and he takes both of them out and breaks them over his knee. And there's like cries of outrage from whoever's arrow those were like, "Hey, man!" And Jay says, "I told you bastards that any arrows found in the prince's portrait were getting broken. Also, Shinichi, if you can't convince your patrons to respect the portrait, then just take it down." Shinichi over at the bar fully rolls his eyes at this.
I wanna hear the gossip, man.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to keep up.
And
I'm also curious to see if any of the newcomers look over at us, Naknut and Cressa.
Yeah, so the tiefling who you met earlier, Duncan, who you struck a deal with to talk about Aegis, sees you and recognizes you this time because you're not in your like formal wear from before, and he's like, "Oh, Aegis, have you heard of Aegis?" And he just starts talking loudly about Aegis.
That's right.
In response to Ranger Jay's outburst about the portrait, someone calls out, "It turns out that was just karma for what he did tonight, Jay." And everyone starts laughing. And Jay says, "What?" And this tiefling sitting by the portrait says, "Apparently, Kor the prince stabbed Aurum." And people just start laughing about this again. They're really into this news. And Jay says, I don't. He looks at you specifically, Rita, seeing your kind of shocked reaction, and says, "I don't believe that for a second." But it occurs to both you and Duncan, in that moment, that as you guys were leaving and the charm spell ended on you, that also would have been the exact moment that it ended on Cor and Riley. So it makes sense that something would have gone down right after you left. And yeah, so what was that?
And Aurum killed me.
Right. So do you just want to keep listening? Do you want to say anything?
I want to. This is it's Ashvini here that said that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. What happened next?
Well, according to the guy who just came from the ball, yeah, His Grace, Kor, just walks up to Aurum right after he's transformed into a Summer Eldrin, which I don't know if I believe that part of the story, because Lord Aurum as a Summer Eldrin is a hilarious concept, but whatever. Apparently, Kor goes up to him, just stabs him. Who knew the prince ever had used a weapon in his life? Of course, His Majesty intervenes because, and then there's like a scuffle. by the way, this guy's, you can tell, drunk, Duncan. You can smell it on his breath. And,
yeah, I'm gonna take a step back from that.
Yeah, he's just, like, really, like, not holding his tongue at all. And he's like, yeah, and then they all got ushered into another room, and we don't know what happened, but the point is, it's definitely clear that the royal family is losing it. Um, and then the guy across the table, Blue, says, yeah, I mean, I've heard that His Majesty's coming down with the sleeping sickness again, so it could just be all downhill from here. At that, Jay goes over, slams his fist down on the table, and says, "Where did you hear that? Is that true?" And Blue, like, kind of, like, leans back, like, obviously very intimidated by Jay, and says, I don't know, man. That's just something that got mentioned tonight. I don't know if there's evidence. He's not coughing up yellow slime again, as far as I've heard, but, maybe this time it's His Grace Core who has it. Maybe he's gone mad. I mean, mixing Drow and Eladrin, what do you expect, really? And human, I mean, the princess is sane enough, but throw human into that mix and there's gonna be some, it seems like Jay loses interest as soon as he learns that probably no one is actually sick, and he just walks away, not even listening to the rest. And he says, we should go.
One sec.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? The whole, like, drow elf thing. That's a thing that happens with those guys?
Drow and Eladrin? I mean, Drow are literally the reincarnate of evil from the Underdark, and Fae, I mean, Eladrin are, like, even more magical and in tune with nature and, like, full of goodness than regular elves. So it does seem like a weird combination.
So people think that's why His Majesty was sick?
I mean, no one knows why people get the sleeping sickness, but...
Cool. I'm gonna take your beer.
What?
Thanks.
He lets you, but he's not happy about it.
Ooh, where'd you get the food?
I just stole it from him. Here, do you want some food? We haven't really had food. We've had, like, pastries.
Just then, an elf man
I just stole food.
runs in. And Rita, you recognize his black and white uniform as reminiscent of the servants you were looking at in the palace. So you kind of glean that he is a servant who's just come from the palace. But who apparently is a local of the historic district, because he runs in and immediately says, I was serving them after the fight. I know everything that happened. And people start crowd-arounding him, like, what happened?
Speak on it! Speak on it!
Speak on it!
Jay sees...
have some of this food.
Oh, let me have
Jay sees how eager you two are for the gossip, and he just kind of rolls his eyes and goes into the corner, pouting. And yeah, so the servant comes in, people are like, oh, tell us what happened. And he says, well, after the fight, of course they were all separated, and any important people nearby were ushered into the conference room behind where the band was playing, which of course I had access to because I was serving in there. And there was a big fight about whether or not the marriage should be happening at all. And people are like, oh. And he says, yes, there was a very high-ranking noble dwarven general there, and he brought up that this whole marriage was a total undermining of His Majesty's authority, and that it was weird because, Orym is... we don't even know how old he is, and His Majesty's 20. And so that...
old.
And then, another elf who's listening in says, well, we all know how the dwarves feel about it. And a couple dwarves who are sitting at this table in the corner, raise their beer and their drinks in salute and say, long may he reign! And from that, you get the impression that, Tarl is very popular among the dwarves. And the elves.
I yell out, here, in Dwarven.
Oh, I know Dwarven, so I say it in Dwarven. Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, they raise their mugs at you guys. They're like, yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Everyone in this room, by the way, almost everyone is drunk. It is past midnight at this point, and they're here. So,
Perfect.
And it's like summer festival vibes still. So everyone is drunk. Everyone is just saying shit off the cuff. No worries about like consequences.
I'm leaning down towards Duncan, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh my god, Nakna, dwarves are the best. They're so fun. I love them."
I like the dwarves. Yeah, I like the dwarves, and also because they're like just a little bit shorter than me, and it makes me feel a little bit better.
Oh yeah, they're great.
As you're standing next to a goblin.
Hi.
Oh my god! Hi.
He says, "Hey, do you mind? I'm trying to listen."
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
This food is great.
And the tiefling who's been preaching about you just looks at you, Duncan, and says, "I've just been telling them of you, just haven't I?" And they both kind of nod exasperatedly.
Great.
Really? What did he tell you? I'd be so interested to hear.
Mostly just his name so far. Well, I wasn't given any other information.
Balam.
Yeah.
Listen. Whenever you're done with this next drink, I just need you to go to the temple district and get a religious text on you, just so that you can learn more and be, a little bit more understanding of Aegis. And while you're at it, read up on the other ones too. It's good to be.
How am I to afford? How am I to afford? Will you pay me? If you were to give me a couple more gold, then I could afford to go and acquire texts.
I mean,
here's 5 gold. Here. Here you go. 5 gold for this guy.
Thank you. I will acquire the text, and I will become the leading expert, other than yourself, of course, in the region.
And Balam, may I say, the last person that we gave 5 gold to learn about Aegis and ended up spending it on alcohol. Well, it's not polite to say. So please use the money as you're supposed to.
Of course. Yes, Rita, you're just enjoying your soup.
I'm trying to listen to more of this drama, this dwarven general. Like, what else happened?
Right. So the elves yell back to the dwarves at the table, and they say, "You only feel that way because of your precious gold and diamonds and rubies and whatever the things you underdwellers value so much." And the dwarves just laugh and drink at this. They don't give a shit. And the servant continues and says, "Well, it seems that everything, nothing has changed as far as I can tell. His Majesty was able to calm Orym down, and he obviously could survive a simple stab from a child, so it wasn't as if his life was at risk, and it escalated into more of a general argument between other politicians. I actually don't know where His Majesty or His Grace or Lord Orym went, but there was quite an argument between Tassar and other leading and someone said, 'This boy's been drinking. How can we trust anything he says?'" No, it's all true. It's all true.
I trust him, and I will say, Prince Kor probably had a very good reason for what he did, because he's usually very collected.
What a liar.
Well, that is why people are saying that perhaps Kor has, lost it.
No, well, if he has lost it and his health is, it makes so much sense to what everybody's been saying about Tassar threatening the king into this marriage, right?
That's very true.
They're not afraid.
I say here
clearly the dwarven general sees something that we're all, already aware of.
All right, you both need to give me performance checks.
Performance check. Okay. Come on, baby, please. Okay, I'm gonna use one of my superiority die for my fucking thing.
Okay.
Oh god, where is it? Okay, I'm gonna use one of my superiority die. It's 1d. It's gonna be for commanding presence. So I can use a 1d8 and add it to that thing.
Okay.
That roll. I just don't want it to be so pathetic. People ignore it.
Yeah.
Okay.
12?
So a 12 and a 13.
12 and a 13. Okay. So people do hear you and seem interested. What I'll say though is that since no one really knows who you are, you can't really compete with this like first-hand account from this servant, right?
Right.
But I will say that as people start looking at you, because you know, both rolled over 10, so you did get some notice. Someone says, "Oh, well, if it isn't the champions of summer among us tonight."
Who's said
And
that?
at that, it was actually the goblin who you were sitting next to recently.
Oh.
And at that, people start paying more attention to you, and this centaur woman at the bar also turns and
oh my
says,
god.
"Oh, the champions! I didn't know there was such a thing." And people are like, "Yeah, what is up with that? What does that mean?" So you kind of have a moment spotlighted if there's anything you want to say as a follow-up.
Yeah, champions.
I would like to thank Aegis for giving me the luck to win this. Everyone, please attend the performance that will be happening soon for the clerics. There will be a lot of good clerics there for the temple. My friend Charlotte will be there, and I'll be there too. So,
and Naknod. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, people give a polite well, no, not polite. They're drunk. So a couple people completely ignore this. Some like scream and like are like, yeah. Clerics talking about gods.
Yep.
Some people like, you know, your impression is they probably are not going to come, but the fact that you brought it up got them excited. And
Rita's gonna just look around and be like, look. Champions of Summer, all that stuff is well and good. But we are here to do two things. Drink and have a great fucking time. Am I right, people?
Oh,
yeah, Summer.
Yeah, that gets a great...
I think we gotta get my sister out of here.
Does somebody want to buy me a beer, or can I buy a beer? Actually, wait, he's not selling me beers. Will somebody buy me a beer?
So after you get a good cheer from that, Rita, you notice that the dwarves are beckoning you over at this table. Over here, yeah. And one of them passes you a beer, and they say, "Is it true what you were saying about His Majesty and Tassar and the wedding and all that?"
Look, all I know is that word's been going around. You know, I'm staying at the Rainy Day Inn, and we were already hearing stuff ages ago about how Tassar is likely trying to force this marriage upon the king in order to breed out his humanness, which is ridiculous. I mean, considering that he's half elf, you know, he probably just has to wait a while, get rid of the human blood, and then take over. That's just what I would speculate.
Yes, we have been speculating similar things. It does seem nefarious.
It does. And did you all notice that, like, Tassar, you know, like, there's this whole thing, right? Because we went up to the Royal District, and clearly, you know, there's anti-human sentiment, which we get, you know, considering the history, whatever.
He's speciesist.
But within the palace, you know, like, isn't it strange that even his working staff are all elves? Like, it just gives off anti-non-elf sentiment.
Yeah.
Like,
well, there's no doubt in most minds these days that Tassar is not fond of other beings, and that His Majesty is more radical than the vast majority of the people he rules over. But
I'm just saying that sounds like motive to me to force him into this ridiculous marriage with an old guy, you know?
well, whatever His Majesty decides to do, the dwarves will not forget what he has done for them, and we will side with him. And they all cheer again and drink.
Yeah, dwarves, let's go. And then I start just fully speaking in dwarvish. I mean, like it's just all crazy, isn't it? But it's interesting how these folks act. You know, you know, it's weird. I don't know. I sort
They
of feel
just like
bad for His Majesty.
they all like
Still
slowly
in
put their
dwarvish.
drinks down and stare at you. And you can tell from this that they are not used to humans being able to speak dwarvish.
Oh, sorry, my dad. Sorry, not my dad. My captain is a dwarf.
And he says, "You and the boy both speaking our tongue. Are you not from this area?"
We're from the Isle of Wands, actually, and before that, I was a sailor for a while, long time.
Oh, then you grew up under the stewardship of His Majesty, and that explains your multiculturalism.
Yeah, no, Isle of Wands, we kind of just love culture, you know?
Yeah.
Ranger Jay says, "Yeah, they love it. Okay, we do have to go."
Drink second beer. I'm just going to keep speaking Dwarvish. And I'm gonna say, I mean, do you all think it's possible that King Terrell's being forced into this marriage under some sort of like potential regional conflict?
More than
Considering
possible.
that the prince, stabbed the guy that is supposed to be marrying his brother, it just seems like there's a lot of animosity.
There is an elf across the table, in armor, and he finally kind of speaks up in a soft voice, and he says, "His Majesty is the king. He cannot be forced into anything."
There were rumors in the Kingdom of Swords that one of the nobles was almost forced into a marriage, so I kind of doubt myself anymore that power is enough to, not make people do things.
There is a fair difference between a human noble and the king of Terrath.
I burp loudly.
The dwarf winks at you and says, I think you're in the right, lassie. You can't trust what any elf says in this region. In terms of politics, they're all blind to Desar's charms.
I think their interests just aligned, so maybe it'll take a little longer for them to see, the possibilities that are all around us. There's no judgment towards you. Sorry, what was your name, sir?
The dwarf?
No, the elf.
The elf pretends not to hear you.
Hi, my name is Cressa Rivera. I'm one of the champions of summer, apparently, which is cool. It's a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to drink together. I lift up the second beer that's been given to me that's mostly empty.
Jay's gonna kind of gently try and pry that away from you. Do you let him?
Yeah, fine, I let him.
Okay, he's gonna drink the rest of it. He drinks the rest of it and says, "We really should go."
Okay. Well, it was nice meeting you, and, it's no judgment. I love elves. Elves are great. Dwarves, we party. Good night, everyone.
Wait. How did you just introduce yourself, Frida?
I said Cressa Rivera.
Oh, okay, that's right. I heard Rivera, and I got confused. Yeah, okay. The dwarves salute you as you're walking out and say, "Yeah, Cressa!" And then they look at you two, Duncan, and they're like, "Yes!" But they don't know your name.
Knacknud.
Yeah, I'm Knacknut.
And Jay's like, "Okay, great. Let's..." As Jay's trying to leave, Shinichi actually catches you all at the door, and he puts a hand on Jay's shoulder and says, "Are you sure you should be going out tonight? Are you good?" And Jay says, "Yeah, it's better than staying in the city." He says, "Okay. You guys need anything before you go? Did you rest up? Are you food? You got water?"
I'm good. Thank you, though, Shinichi.
Yeah, doing great. Thank you. I lost my bag.
All right. He gives Jay one last look, like, you know, he wishes Jay would not do this tonight, but he's like, you know, obviously I can't stop him. So he just looks at all of you and says, "Watch your backs out there. Always do."
Thank you.
So you can press T to teleport. I took away all the commands because they were annoying, but just let you know when to press T. Yep, so you guys come out. It's very dark. There's still some skeletons hovering about. Just people. And Jay says, "This way."
Yep.
Excuse me.
Bye, and as you get... Bye, skeletons.
Oh, goodbye. As you get... Oh, no, there you go!
Oh,
no. Okay, so as you enter this new space, you can get your lanterns out. Because it's very dark. There's no, like, other light for you here. There's no, like, light posts or anything like there was in the district, so... Let me turn on your... No worries, turn them on. But yeah, Jay stops at the entrance to this new area, and he turns to the two of you. Did you get your lantern, Rita?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, let me turn that on for you. Oh. Okay. And he says, oh wait, he's gonna pull up his cloak too. There we go. And he says, "Alright, I don't need to know what your relationship with the royal family is, or if you're working for them, or I don't need to know any of that. But you've been in proximity to them recently, I'm guessing."
Yeah, we were at the ball.
Were...
Puts her hand on her lips and just tries not to cry. Just like, I'm intrigued.
She's so drunk. Oh, by the way, we're gonna say that whole time where, like, you were talking upstairs and then you came downstairs and you were, like, eating and drinking and all that counts as a short rest. So for Duncan, for you, that's a long rest.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and do that. Give yourself a short rest or a long rest. As we head out. But yeah, Jay is like, okay, well, were His Majesty or His Grace, or anyone, frankly, displaying symptoms of the sleeping sickness?
Well, what are the symptoms? Are they sleepy? Do they fall asleep?
Jay looks like more amazed than anything you've said so far. He's like really surprised you don't know, and he says, "Yeah, I mean, people can't stay awake for more than a couple hours a day. They start coughing up this, like, yellow bile. Sometimes it has blood in it. And then, you know, eventually they just don't wake up again."
Sorry, I was just trying to figure out how to do a short rest.
No, you're good.
I saw anything. Maybe I can do a little... Do I do an insight check to try to remember if I saw anything like that?
No, you didn't see anything like that.
Oh, okay.
No.
No, definitely not sick. His Majesty is fine, just stupid.
Jay laughs at that, and then says, "Well, if you're ever around them and they do start displaying symptoms, let me know, because it's not ready, but I am trying to come up with a cure. Don't tell anyone about this, by the way. But, and I'm not saying I could save anyone, but, you know, I should at least know."
Your friend, aren't you? Before this, you were their friend.
I'm sorry, what was that?
And
the way he says this, Rita, I mean, you're drunk, so you might not pick up on it, but it's very like he's giving you a chance not to say it.
No, I said it again because I'm drunk.
So what do you say?
I said you're their friend.
Their friend? You mean the royal family?
Aren't?
You'll have to speak up.
Aren't?
All I'm hearing you say is aren't. Is that correct?
I'm hearing that both times too.
Aren't you?
Aren't?
Are you not?
I'm like, how drunk is this woman? Gosh. Jay says, no, I'm not.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
They're royalty. I don't know how you two know them, but most people don't.
Yeah, but you do act a little strange when we bring them up, is all I'm saying. And you did rip the arrows out of the painting and start shouting at people in the bar and all that. And I'm not really saying too much, but now I am.
Well, how great would it have looked if one of the royal guards walked into Shinichi's place and found arrows in a portrait of the... There are punishments for things like this.
I'm gonna insight check him. Can I please? I will go with advantage.
Disadvantage.
Right, so it's just a straight roll because I usually get advantage.
Okay, gotcha.
11.
11? As far as you can tell, this is a straight shooter.
Okay, sorry, Look, can I be honest with you? I'm not asking you any questions about your personal life or anything, but I'll be straight with you. My name, as you know, is not Cressa. I am not highborn. I am not by any means born into anything good. I'm lucky that I even know how to read, and that's mainly because I had a really good captain who I might be disappointing, but that's okay. I love him so much, and I just want him to be proud of me, but I don't think he's gonna be proud of me. That's okay. It's fine.
He'll be proud of you.
Jay puts an arm over your shoulder, Duncan, and leads you over here away from Rita.
Oh my god.
And he
says,
and he kind of puts a hand up to you, Rita, like, just a second. And he kneels next to you, Duncan, and says very quietly, "Do we need to leave tomorrow?"
No, she's just been through a lot tonight, but I think after a bit of walking and maybe a little bit more water and food in her, I think we'll be okay.
Okay, why is she interrogating me about this?
Sometimes she just gets on a kick, and you kind of just have to, answer as honestly as possible until she gets the answer she wants. And that's just how it works. She'll know if it's not the real answer. She has a real gift when she's drunk to know when she's being lied to. It's kind of crazy.
It's a deception, Duncan.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wait, what was that?
That was 19.
What?
Okay. So Jay already really respects you, Duncan, from your demonstration earlier with him. So he takes what you're saying very seriously, and he kind of nods, and he's kind of realizing that what you're saying is actually reasonable. She's just asking basic questions, and he kind of looks a little sheepish at his withholding, and he still with his arm around you walks back over to Rita and says, "I was familiar with the royal family for a long time, but that is in the past, and I couldn't even get a meeting with them now if I wanted to, so that's why I say no. And my previous relationship to them is of no consequence to this trip. All I wish to know is if they were ill, because as I said, I'm working on a cure, and that's that."
excuse me, Ranger J. You said it's of no consequence of this trip. Rita, I want to play a game with you real quick. Okay, stay right there, Ranger J. Rita, can you? Okay. So, Rita, you are going to play the role of, you're going to play the role of Aurum, okay? And I'm gonna play the role of the king, okay? So you stay over here. You're over here. And I want you to be just kind of walking like you're enjoying your day, and then we bump into each other, okay? Ready? Start over here.
Anything.
Go ahead. Ready? I'm over here. You're over there. Okay, Ranger J, now I want you to do what you would do if you saw this happening, okay? I'm the king, and she's Aurum. Ready? Okay, we're going
to... I love murdering people.
He steps in between you two and says, what exactly is this accomplishing?
I'm playing a game. Games don't accomplish things.
It's you, Jay. Jay. What's the rest of that word? I know you very well, don't I?
Don't say the M word. Don't do it.
The M word.
I don't. Maybe we do need to leave tomorrow. The two of you are. Did you drink, Duncan? I didn't see you drinking.
No, he's so smart and good. He would never. Look at him. Look at him.
Oh, I didn't realize drinking.
I'm a sailor. I've drank before.
Ranger Jay, for somebody who's made it through so many situations, you really don't know how to play along.
Look, Ranger Jay, have you ever been on a ship? Have you ever been on a ship after, it's been storming for several days and you all docked and you were like, hey, let's enjoy the fucking night. So you all get drunk, but then you're like, oh shit, we're gonna run delayed if we don't leave tonight because the storm is coming back. So then you all get all aboard. Ahoy, let's go. Neil, by my side. Shut the fuck up, dude. And then you're just like, let's go. And you start going. And yeah, maybe people are still a little drunk and there is a storm and there is the potential for all of you to die.
Yeah,
so then you rely on each other. You rely on each other and that gets you through it. Because you know what's the greatest sobering effect in the world? Death. It is. It really is.
Jay is clearly just stunned by this speech, and he's just like staring at you. An elven woman walks down from the darkness with her own lantern, which is not special like your lanterns. It's just a regular lantern, and she says, "Jay, is that you?" And he says, "Yeah, hey, Mist. I'm just escorting some people."
Hello there, my name's Knacknut. I'm also a ranger.
Professor Rivera, fighter.
Mist offers her hand and says, "Oh, hello. Parties traveling with Jay aren't normally so noisy. I was sure it would just be some drunken, people who I'd have to shush away. But I suppose as long as you're with Jay, it's all right."
Say, Mist, we were just playing a game with Ranger.
Yeah. So as she's standing there, these imps come floating up behind her. And it seems like they are hers. It seems like they're trained, because they're just there. They do, however, they're still imps, so they're gross and slobbery, and they're looking at you hungrily. And your impression is that if this woman was out of eyeshot or earshot for even a second, they would try to eat you and attack you. So she has a very commanding presence.
Well, Mist, I have a question for you. We were just playing, you seem to know Ranger J a little bit?
Oh, well, we are sort of business associates, I guess you could say.
Okay, never mind. Thank you.
And Jay says, "Yeah, sorry about the commotion, Mist. We're just passing through. Don't mind us." And he looks at the imps and says, "Hey guys, all right, let's get going if we're gonna go. We don't have all the time in the world."
You lead the way.
That's why we shouldn't be talking. We should just be going.
Mist puts a hand on Jay's shoulder as he's passing and says, "Be careful. Don't take anything for granted out there." And he says, "Yeah, never do. If I do die, this time around. I think you'll know whose fault it is. And he glances at you two and keeps walking.
It's nice to meet you, Mist. Thank you.
Come on.
Okay, it's a pleasure.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Where are we going?
This way. All right. If you two don't start keeping up, I'm leaving you.
We're keeping up.
Knock
Nud.
Knock nud. And as you're walking around this, and from what you can see, you seem to be in the midst of like a very deserty area, but there's also some like temple ruins. So you can see why it's called the historic district. This whole area has been kind of just allowed to fall into disrepair, but it's clear that there used to be, civilization here. And Lucky kind of pokes his head out of the bag and is looking. And you also notice that the area is gated off. So you're not supposed to leave this area, obviously. And in front of one of the big imposing gates, there is a little dragon, just sitting there, just chilling. Doesn't seem threatening. Just seems to be acting as a guard. What do the two of you do? Jay approaches him casually. Are the two of you scared of the dragon? What's the vibe?
Because what was his name? What was his name? The other dragon, the 13's dragon. He was way bigger. Resonant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just a little guy. And he has a very regal bearing. Like, there's a sense that he's trained for sure. And Jay says, "Yeah, this is one of the palace's dragons. They use them to guard the edges of the historic district, so no one goes into Gorin's Bane territory. But and he gives the dragon this like little dumpling-looking piece of food, which it devours greedily. And he says, they're pretty easy to get by. You just have to bring them a dumpling from. Did you guys see the restaurant at the on the coast by the docks?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Omar's.
Yeah, you get them one of Omar's dumplings. They let you right through.
Oh, cool.
So just
it's a pleasure to meet you.
Give it plenty of space, but it'll let you by.
Okay.
Kreza.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I don't think
my head to the dragon and just
I don't think
going.
the dragon's gonna tell on us. You can teleport at this next statue. Alright, so after you pass that gate, it's very dark, so you can't really see much, but there's much more of a sense of just like wide open space. Like you're truly entering uncivilized territory. And there's like wind and sand, and it's dark, so it's just kind of abrasive. And Jay kind of just leads the way silently, and it's clear that he's not continuing the conversation that you all had started earlier.
Yeah, seems like he turned into Mr. Grumpy Pants, don't you think, Rita?
Yeah.
It's okay, I get it though. I feel like maybe I've been rude.
He stops at this rock and he says, okay, continuing with the orientation, do you see this rune?
I do.
Yeah, this is one of the ones for the compass then, right?
Yes, so these are my marks. They're what the compass will guide you towards in either direction, depending on what your goal is. So, if I get dragged off by the creature and you don't get a chance to grab the compass, you can also try just finding these, and they will lead you in the right direction. Clear
Ranger
on that?
Jay, can I say? Can I say something, and I mean it in a good way?
Yep.
It kind of looks like your eye with the little scar beneath it.
It does.
Yeah, I guess it does. I never really thought about that. Duncan, you can see, this is a rune from the ancient language that you now know.
Oh yeah.
And it is actually a symbol for autumn.
Oh, I tell Rita this. Or both. Really I guess that they might not both know that, but I say it.
And Jay looks very surprised and says, you can read runes."
Yeah,
I can now. Yeah.
He's very, very smart. Incredibly smart. It surprises me every single day.
I like to read.
That's not a great sound.
Yeah, Jay looks up at that sound and says, "All right, well, That is impressive, and it could come in handy, especially in the Underdark. But it sounds like we might have our work ahead for us, so let's keep going before you guys get too sleepy. If you see a chest, do you know what mimics are?
I mean, the name sounds like. Is it what the name sounds like?
Mimics are monsters. Yeah, you know what a mimic is, Rita.
Yeah, they're monsters that pretend to be things. A lot of times, treasure chests, people trying to seek fortune will get eaten.
Right. Okay. Right. So don't go towards a chest if you see one, because there are a lot of mimics out here. So just don't be tempted. Just ignore it. Even if it's not a mimic, there's probably nothing in it worth having. So don't go after it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Be on your guard. There's a lot of creatures out here. Obviously, there are wolves. We just heard them. There are also imps. Oh, this isn't looking too good. Usually there's a ranger stationed here, but and so you see like this tent, and there's blood. There's a trail of blood, like someone was dragged out of the tent. And Jay says, "That's too bad. He was a nice guy."
Can I do a survival check to see where, like, the check for marks of any kind to see what kind of creature got?
Yeah, go for it.
To these people. It was almost a nat 20. 15.
Okay, yeah, so you're looking around. You see that the trail of blood ends abruptly. Like, it doesn't go further into the sand. Like, it's not like he got dragged off very far. So your impression is whatever did this could fly. Also, given the amount of blood, whatever did this was very, like, tearing at the skin, probably has sharp claws and teeth. So your best guess would be an imp, because they can fly. So they probably dragged him out and then flew off with him, bleeding and screaming. That's your impression.
Yeah, I relayed this to them.
Jay says, yeah, that does not surprise me. Also, he kind of like backs up from the chest and says, I've also never seen a chest here, so I'm gonna guess that's a mimic. Would not get too close to it.
Do you think it was one of Mist's imps that did it?
Could be. I mean, she really just has the 3 and they stick by her for the most part, so there are plenty of imps. It would not have to be one of hers. And as he's speaking of the devil, some imps descend from the darkness. And they are hungry and they are after you. So we are going to go ahead and do initiative. Which is okay, wait. So don't I think I should be able to do your initiatives just by going into combat mode. So let me see if that's the case. I want Jay in there too. Yeah, I think that'll work. Because you guys did make your sheets. So okay, starting combat.
Cute!
Yeah, so I think that worked. Were those your initiatives from your sheets? Because it added something.
Yeah, it looks like it added it correctly. 17 plus 4, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Where was that? Where's that listed at? Yes.
Okay, so yeah, these imps have bloodlust in their eyes and they are coming after you, but Rita, you are ready despite how drunk you are. You're ready, and what do you do? What's your move?
Yeah, I think if anything, it's just like Rita's like, oh fuck yes, I just want to kill something today. So she's gonna go ahead and I think she'll probably move in front of both of them, like sort of shielding as much as she can. And then she's going to take out her glaive like she normally does, and she's gonna roll for the one on the left.
Okay.
23.
All right, that hits.
Only 4 points of damage. Slashing damage, specifically.
Alright. Let's do this. Okay. So, 4 points of damage to the one on the left. I think that's this one. So let me take these 4 points of damage.
Yeah, 4 points.
Okay. So that one takes 4 damage. It hisses at you and looks pissed. It is now Ranger Jay's turn. He'll go ahead and attack the other one. This music is too much. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it down a bit. Let me pull up a sheet. Okay. So he'll use one of his swords. And he slashes at the one on the right. He hits and does 5 damage to the other one. Oh, so many windows. Okay. So this one. Damage. Alright, and then does Jay have... Let me see if he has... If he can do 2 attacks. I don't think he can. 2-weapon fight. Oh yeah, okay, he has 2-weapon fighting. So he can attack with his other sword, because they're short swords. And he'll just do the same thing to the same one. It's a hit. 2 damage. Oh, 4 damage. Okay. So he does another 4 damage to this one. And then he's gonna use... he pulls out his harpsichord and plays a series of notes. And the two of you both gain bardic inspiration.
Oh shit!
Hell yeah!
Awesome.
So that's... Let's see. Let's look at bardic inspiration really fast. I think it's... bonus action. Gains an inspiration die 1d8 for 10 minutes. So you can add it to an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. This can be added after seeing the roll, but before knowing the outcome. Okay, so you have to decide before you know the outcome. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So now it is... Oh. It is the imp's turn. Okay, so the imp takes a... Oh, look, I can do this. So the imp takes a swing...
Cute.
...at you, Rita. Or actually... I don't think it swings. It probably bites or something. Let me see what they got. Attack. Sting. Bite in beast form. Okay. Melee attack. Okay, so it tries to sting you. Oh, I want to roll. No, all of my... Oh, it is rolling. Wait, is it?
A bunch of times.
Okay, so where's the first one? Okay.
14?
14, does that hit?
14 doesn't. Constitution DC 11. Do I roll a Constitution?
No, if it misses, it misses, I think.
Okay, riposte in that case.
Okay, great, go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and use riposte to attack with glaive. 13.
I'm pretty sure that hits.
That's pretty low.
Yep, that hits.
Oh shit. Okay, and 6 slashing damage.
6 slashing damage. Okay, so this one takes... Oh, so that one is out.
Okay.
It's this one, right? Yeah. Oh, might have been the wrong one. That's fine. Yeah, it falls to the ground. Dies. What I will say is that As it falls, another one shows up. So you're getting a sense that these things travel in packs, and now that there's been a commotion, there might be more.
Good to know.
And it joins the fight immediately. Perfect. Okay, Duncan. It is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna, which one's the new one, in the back or in the front?
In the back.
I'm gonna shoot at this one right in front of me.
Great.
And if I need Bardic, I can roll my to see if I hit and then add it after. If I don't like the result,
you get to see what you get, but you don't know if it hits or not before you decide to use Bardic.
Oh, okay.
So you roll your first one, decide if you're happy with that number, and then...
I'm definitely happy with this number.
23. Okay, yeah, that hits for sure.
Okay, and this was a crossbow, and I'm just shooting. I'm just shooting at it.
Okay, do your damage roll.
Nice.
5 damage, awesome. And that was the new one, right?
Yeah. Oh no, this was the one. In the front.
Oh, the one in the front. Okay.
Yeah.
So that one is down.
Nice.
Oh my god, yes. Did you see that, Ranger Jay?
Good shooting. Anything else you wanted to do on your turn?
No, I do also have 2-weapon fighting, but I don't have, and it's a light crossbow, so I guess it's like in one hand no, it says 2-handed, but it's light. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I don't have another weapon to switch to, so.
Okay, 2 more imps show up.
I don't think so. Okay, so yeah, I'm good. I'll move over again, I guess, or something.
Okay, great. Now it is... Oh, what just happened? Now it is this imp's turn. It's hard to say which imp is which, I must say. They're all looking a little similar. Okay, so this one moves forward, and it moves to bite you, Rita.
Okay.
Or sting you with its tail. That's what they're doing. They're trying to poison you guys. What do we get there? 20, does that hit?
20. Yeah, 20.
Alright, go ahead and make that Constitution saving throw. DC 11. See if you get poisoned.
Don't. 23.
Okay, great. So you're good on that. But you do still get the piercing damage, which is 6. Unless I rolled it more than once again.
You rolled more than once.
7.
It was 7.
It's 7. Okay, great. So 7 damage. Yeah, so it's just got his little teeth in you. Very unpleasant feeling, because they try and like rip the skin basically. They're like little like shredders. So yeah, it's latched on. It is now your turn.
I'm gonna try to fuck up this imp that's got me in its jaws.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try. I mean, it's latched onto me right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out a dagger in that case and attack it with a dagger instead. 24.
Right. That hits.
And that's 7 damage.
Okay, 7 damage. You do a very good amount of damage to it. It's looking limp. It's still latched onto you, but it's clearly not long for this earth. You've mortally wounded it, it seems. Anything else you wanted to do?
I don't think I get anything else on my turn, so no.
Okay.
Good.
Oops. This imp is up next. Seeing that one has taken its prey. Let me see what this is. Okay, yeah, that's more than enough. This one comes after Jay. It tries to... Yeah.
I'm gonna use my fighting style because I do have a shield. While wielding a shield and a creature you can see attacks a target other than you within 5 feet. Jay is within 5 feet, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll.
So got it. Alright, so he'll roll twice. Alright, so it's a 15. Which does not hit Jay. So, thanks to your help, Jay is safe. So you, tell me how that goes down. What do you do?
I think I got this one on my arm, and then stabbed it with my dagger. And then as soon as I saw the other one coming by, I just left the dagger still stabbed into the one that's on me, and grabbed my shield and just slammed it into the imp as it was coming for Jay.
In front of Jay. Alright, yeah. Jay gives you an appreciative look, clearly impressed. And now it is his turn. He's gonna go for the one that just came after him. Let's do his roll with his short sword again. He misses first. And with his second swing, he's actually going to try and get rid of the one that's latched onto you, Rita, with his other sword. That's a hit. And he does 9 damage, so that thing's dead. He just decapitates it, so as its body falls away, its jaw slowly slackens, and it falls. It all just falls into the sand. But so that is his turn. Now it is this imp's turn. This imp, seeing everyone else occupied, goes after you, Duncan. And tries to get a bite into you. Let me do its roll. 20. Does that hit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw. DC 11. 20. Alright, you're fine. You're not getting poisoned, but you do take 5 piercing damage.
Okay.
Alright, so that bite lands, and it is latched onto your arm, just like the one was with Rita.
Ew.
And it is now your turn.
Okay. So, if something is this close to me, let me see what I want to do. What is that? Yeah, I will use Sacred Flame on it, and they have to do a Dexterity saving throw 13. Why is it Dexterity?
Dexterity saving throw. Okay. Are these my saving throws? So we'll just do that. Did it roll? Oh, yeah, I think I just rolled twice, didn't I? Okay, so... Oh no, 20.
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay. So they don't take any damage?
Nothing, I don't think.
Or does it half it, or does it take nothing?
The target must succeed on a... No, they don't take anything.
Okay, so since it's attached to your arm and currently digging its fangs into you, you're a little distracted. And you just kind of blast the spell in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because you're panicking a bit. Okay, anything else?
No.
Okay. In that case, we move on to Rita.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out my glaive and I'm gonna attack the one closest to me. 14.
Alright, that hits.
9 damage.
Right. That is a massive blow. It is not looking good. Yes, there's no point in giving you the indicators when you can see their health on the slide.
Oh, can we? I didn't even notice.
Can you not see that?
No.
Oh, you can't. Oh, only I can see the tracker. Oh, okay, that's good to know.
Oh, let me change my tracker too, so you know where I'm at.
Okay, 9 damage. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to do the tracker on the thing. As long as you're keeping track on your sheet, that's fine. But if you want to, that's also fine. That'd be helpful for me. What is happening? You did 9 damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. When things are clumped together in one more multiverse, sometimes it's like impossible to... Let me just get him out here while I do this. Okay, there we go. So yeah, he's on his last legs. He's about to die for sure. Anything else you wanted to do?
Still alive?
He's still alive.
Shit, I don't think there's much I can do. Because I don't necessarily want to do an action surge yet, because I only got... Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay. In that case, it is Imp's turn, who you just almost killed. He's gonna attack you. With another bite. And he misses.
Misses.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. He misses.
Yes.
Repose.
Alright.
I think. Wait. Yeah, repose. Okay, that's another superiority die. I'm gonna go ahead and attack it. I'm gonna freaking down this guy. Natural 20.
Oh, sick. Okay, yeah, so roll your damage. How do you kill this thing?
I mean, hold on. 10, 14 points of damage.
Yeah. It's dead.
Yeah. I think Rita looks at all these like dead imp bodies and is just like, so annoying. And she's just gonna like do like a quick flourish and like slash at the imp's neck and just completely decapitate it.
Okay, yeah, so another head comes off and it flops to the ground. Its body like stays flying for like half a second and then it also falls. Anything else for your turn?
Well, it wasn't my turn. That was a reaction.
Oh,
so...
right. True. So it's dead. And it is your turn now.
My turn now? Didn't I just go?
No, that was a reaction to the imp. And the imp is dead. So now it's your turn. Oh, wait.
Wait. It's Ranger J's turn. Yeah.
No, it's your turn. No, it's your turn.
Because I went, that imp went, and then... Because I went right before that imp.
Gotta keep better track of my tracker. Okay, Jay's turn. He's going to attack the imp that's attacking Duncan, obviously. Let's get that. Oh, wait, this is the imp. I need Ranger Jay. With his... Oh, I guess he's using a dagger. He pulls out a dagger. Like that. He does 6 damage. He goes again with another dagger. And does 4 damage, so that's 10 damage total. Oh, yep, that imp goes down. So he just, like, takes his 2 daggers and just slashes it up, murders it in 2 cuts, and it falls. And that is it.
Hell yeah.
So,
hell yeah.
Yeah, your first fight out here. Huge success. Jay is he's looking at you two like, okay, it's alright. They can actually do this. They're not insane. What do you two do?
I was about to do an insane thing.
Oh no, go for it.
First of all, I'm taking the dagger out of the dead imp that's on the ground that I left. I take that dagger, and then I'm gonna kneel down, and I'm gonna be like, Duncan, do you want to help me to remove these wings? I'm thinking I could do some cool leather work with them.
Yeah. Let me see. Pick them up.
Sweet. So I'm just gonna start removing these imp wings.
Okay, yeah. So you can get 6 pairs of imp wings. Some of them in better conditions than others, but they're all, potentially usable.
I'll just take 4 pairs of imp wings, the
4
best
pairs
ones.
of imp wings. Jay kind of watches you remove these wings. With just like a serious expression, just keeping vigilant in case any more show up.
I mean, these could make like a pretty nice. Do you want a wallet? I can make you a wallet with
I was gonna say a wallet. I mean, I'll take a wallet too, but I didn't know if you needed one. But I mean, I'll use an imp
No,
wallet.
no. I mean, I haven't made anything since that bear skin we had to give up. So I just kind of been wanting to make some stuff. It might be good to sell.
That's true. Yeah. I bet if you made a wallet and then you put their face on one side of it, somebody would buy that because that'd be real cool.
Oh my gosh, I could totally do that. That sounds really fun. Okay, yeah, that sounds great. Hey, Ranger J, do you want a wallet?
No, I just realized I never had the two of you actually pay me.
Oh yeah, I can pay you. It's not a problem. But did you want a wallet? That one's for free. That one's for free, just because.
Look, if you make me an imp skin wallet, yeah, we can take off 100 gold from the cost, I think. That's pretty,
ridiculous.
That's pretty valuable. Not a lot of people can work with imp skin. It's very delicate. I don't know if you've tried before. Maybe you're just very ambitious.
Okay, maybe I should get all 6 pairs of wings.
Sausage meant that you go to like saw the other way. And he's like, I see. He says, yeah, if you successfully make me an imp skin wallet, I will treasure that, certainly.
Okay, I'll make you that. Here, did you want your payment now? Let me just give it to you now.
No, maybe not now. Maybe this is not the time and place. Okay. I usually handle that back at the Lathander's drop, but with the commotion downstairs, I got distracted. We can take care of it once we're in the Undercity. All right,
okay, let's go.
Let's keep going. You gotta keep a schedule here. You two both all right? Either of you need healing? You're good?
No, we're good.
I'm okay.
Okay. You did such an excellent job removing those imp wings. That was really cool.
Oh, did I do that? Yeah, I ripped them right
off.
You helped me. Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
Not that you guys are here for sightseeing, but the ancient temple ruins are pretty. Some people come out here just to see these. I don't recommend it, as they, are sometimes full of traps. So, if you do see them, just be careful. It's not always the best. As you guys are walking along, Lucky still has his head poked out. He says, "My goodness, how things have fallen into disrepair."
Hey, do you remember when you died? How long ago that was?
It must have been many hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, because you said the palace wasn't around when you were.
No. As Jay moves, he kind of does a lot of like stopping to listen and stuff. He's very, cautious. You hear more wolves howling. This time they sound closer. And he says, "All right. Okay, here they are." And you come across this pack of snarling, huge wolves. You've never seen wolves this big. They're very intimidating. They look hungry as well. It's clearly, they're looking for dinner tonight. So it's looking like another fight. Do you have any other reactions other than just readying up?
I kind of do.
Okay. I wonder if we've got any food for them.
Can I do a nature check?
Go for it.
I'm trying to see if... Well, doesn't matter what I'm trying to see. It was a 10.
Yeah, they look like hungry wolves.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything.
Yeah, they are definitely
double check my
starting combat, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the initiative.
Yeah, I just have a jar of sweet preserves. I don't think wolves are particularly into sweets.
Alright. Rita, you are up first.
Okay. I'm up first. Wolves. Okay. I'm going to if I do an intimidation check on these wolves, is that my action?
Yeah.
That would be my action?
Mm-hmm. You could still have a bonus action, but yeah, that would be your action.
I don't really have a bonus action.
Well, what are you going to do? Because depending on what it is, it could be considered a bonus action.
Oh, I think I just kind of want to, like, run towards them, swing my glaive up high to, like, make myself as big as possible while, like, yelling, like a battle cry kind of thing.
Okay, that's definitely an action then.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna try it.
Go for it,
you know. Doesn't hurt to try. It's fine.
So you're just trying to scare them off, just trying to get them out of here.
Yeah, because if, like, I feel bad for them. I don't know if I really want to fight them. 16.
Okay, one of them runs off. The other two hold their ground.
Damn it. Well,
smart.
You also, by the way, scare Ranger J, and he goes,
Sorry. I'm just... They're wild animals, you know? Like, I feel bad.
You're a drunk woman with a glaive.
I'm not drunk!
Ranger J looks back at you, Duncan, to be like, she is drunk, right?
She's in the middle now. Fighting helps.
Okay, so that's your turn, unless you have a bonus action, Rita?
I don't.
Alright, Duncan, you are up.
I'm gonna use Bane on both of them.
Ooh, okay. So they have disadvantage now? What's the...
They need to roll. I don't know how charismatic these wolves are, but they need to roll for charisma. They need to get 13 or higher.
Okay, so one of them failed for sure. They both failed. Did. Yeah.
Okay, so now they roll D4 and they subtract that from their attack roll or saving throw, whatever they're doing first.
Gotcha. So they just...
Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. I had an at higher levels thing, but I only have 2. So
when the next attack rolls they do, they minus a D4?
Yes.
Okay, is it ongoing or is it just the next time?
I believe it's just the... let me see.
Is it like a concentration spell? Or?
I think
whenever a target fails this makes some type of saving throw before the spell ends, and the spell lasts up to a minute. So probably just their next.
Oh, okay.
move.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Okay, so you cast Bane, that works. They both get baned. Was there anything else you wanted to do on your turn?
I believe that's just my action, so that's good.
Alright, next up is Ranger J. He does not have the scruples that Rita did. He goes in with the sword and attacks the big one, the big gray one with the spikes. He just goes in on it. Let me roll for him.
Concentration spell.
Maybe, it might last 1 minute.
Yeah.
He misses, I think. Let's see. Let me just make sure. Let me check there. We don't want this. What is there? Yep. Okay, he misses with his first sword. I'm gonna say it's because he's still a little weary of you, Rita, and you're right there. And then he goes in for another attack. And a nat 1, he misses again. Okay, so... you've still got your glaive out, Rita, and he's trying to get to this wolf before it can get to you because you're so close to it, and he's worried that you're drunk, but all of that is causing him to just be too distracted because he's worried about your glaive and you and this wolf.
Oh my god. Get it together. Worry about yourself, man. I'm fine. I killed like 4 of those imps.
He's getting in his head. Okay, now it's the brown wolf's turn. It goes after Jay because he's attacking the leader of the group. Alright, so let's see what direwolf's got. Bite. Okay.
They're pretty fucking strong.
Yeah. Oh, why do I keep doing that twice? What was the first one?
10.
10. Okay, so it does not hit. Oh wait, and it has to subtract... Wait, does it subtract 4 to the attack roll or the damage roll?
It just from the attack roll or saving throw.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so there's no need to subtract from that because he already missed. I mean she. Okay, do they have any bonus? I don't think so. Alright, so that is the first wolf's turn. The first wolf's turn. The second wolf is gonna go for you, Rita. Because you are right in front of it, and you just tried to intimidate it with that glaive, and it did not get scared. So it tries to bite you. 17, does that hit?
Meets it, beats it, yeah.
Alright, so that's 10 piercing damage.
Alright, okay.
Minus D4.
Oh, right, minus D4.
Oh, wait, right.
Wait, that's right,
the 17.
Duh. Okay,
17 would be minus a...
Oh, yeah,
yes,
so it
absolutely... Let's go, Duncan!
I'll do the D4 just for the fun of it, just so we get that Bane effect. So it subtracts... Oh, yeah, so it doesn't even come close. Excellent. So, yeah, since it's baned, it does not manage to hit. That is its turn, and now it's your turn again, Rita.
Wait, so it missed an attack on me, though?
Yes. Did you want to riposte?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on, let me just double check that. Yeah, fuck it. Like, I only have 4... No, I won't do it. It's fine. Okay. I only have 4 superiority dice, so I don't want to do it.
Okay.
It is my turn next, though, right?
Yes, it is your turn.
Okay. So I attack with my glaive. Oh my god. An 8.
Yeah, that doesn't hit.
No.
One of the skeleton yells out from the back, "Do you need assistance?"
Oh my gosh! And they just swing wide.
Being jostled around quite a bit.
Yeah, don't spook people in the middle of a fight. What's wrong with you? Who would do something like that?
Oh, she's still drunk. Rita, was there anything else you wanted to do on your turn?
No, I think, I'm just gonna get a little bit closer to Ranger J, even though he moved away from me. Because I'm just like, I have a shield, just relax, get out of your own head.
Alright, he's gonna just look at you warily, like, okay. And Duncan, it is your turn.
Alright, I'm going to, shoot at the one that's on the top with, like, the spikes on the back.
Okay, the big one.
Yeah.
Since Rita and Jay are right in your way, you would probably have to shoot with disadvantage.
No, not the bigger one. I mean the smaller one.
You're gonna go
whichever one's...
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
This is so cool. Can I just say that? This is such a cool little battle.
Oh no, this program is fun. 11. Okay, that does not hit.
Do I still have my bardic?
Yes. I don't think you didn't use that.
Okay,
so,
I want to
use
that.
Add 1d8 to that.
Alright.
You got this. You got this.
Where's the... Okay, I'm gonna roll it on this thing because...
No,
it's on the bottom left. There's like a little die, and 8? Then you click on it, a bunch
so plus 8. So yeah, that definitely
nice.
hits.
Yeah.
So roll your damage. 6. It was just 6, right? Nothing else?
Yeah.
Okay, 6 damage. Alright, awesome. Yeah, so your arrow flies, it plunges into the shoulder of the smaller brown wolf, and it gives a snarl at you. You are now its target, obviously.
Yeah.
3, 6 damage. Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Alright, next up is Jay. He's gonna go ahead and slash at the bigger one again with his short sword. Wait, what? 11. Okay, he misses. And then he goes again with his other short sword. He is just really in his head.
Jay.
Really bad. A 4 and a 3?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you're super close to him.
Okay, fine. I'll move away from you next time. Jeez.
And he's just really worried about potentially hitting you or getting hit by your glaive. So he's honestly more worried about you than the wolves. So
relax. Okay, really, fine, I'll move.
He's in his head. He actually will take that moment to move away from you too. Because he's getting a little bashful about his inefficiency in this fight. Let me see if he has any bonus actions I might want to... No. Okay, yeah. So now we go to the wolf, which is right in front of you now, Rita. It's gonna try and give you a bite. 7, that doesn't hit, right?
Nope.
Okay. Next wolf. Still pissed at Duncan, so it's gonna run right past Ranger J.
Does Jay get an attack of opportunity?
He does. He does get an attack of opportunity. But
come on, you gotta hit now.
The wolf. The wolf doesn't know that. Yeah. So, seeing that you're watching and determined to redeem himself, he goes ahead and goes in with his dagger. And definitely hits. He just slashes right along the side of the wolf as it runs past him and does 5 damage. And he'll kind of raise his dagger at you, Rita, like, yeah, I did it.
You did it!
Clearly still feeling a little sheepish, but also worried about Duncan because he's heading for Duncan. Wait, was it 5 damage? Why did I think it was... Yeah, 5 damage, okay. 5 damage. Okay. And then the wolf still needs to go, so it's gonna try and bite Duncan.
No!
You came back just in time to get attacked.
No! 20. I said no before.
So 20 hits, I'm guessing. It's still... Wait, it's still Bane though, so it still needs to do its...
Oh, yes!
It's still gonna hit though.
2, so that's 18.
Mm-hmm.
So it still manages to hit despite it's kind of a little slightly more clumsy because of the Bane, and it does 9 damage.
Okay.
So yeah, it gets a good bite into your arm, and it's kind of like... I love how I just did that despite having sound effects pulled up for this. So, yeah, it's not looking too good for you, Duncan, in this moment. Rita, it is your turn.
Okay, attack this guy in front of me.
Okay, go for it.
Wait, shit, that was my dagger. That's fine, whatever.
I mean, you can redo it if you want.
Can we just -1?
Sure.
22.
Yeah, so that hits. That hits. Do your damage roll. 6 damage?
Yep, it's 6 damage.
Okay. So you get a good stab in. Anything else?
I just feel like we're gonna keep getting attacked, so I kind of want to hold on to some of my superiority dice. So, yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So that is the end of your turn. Let me look at... Okay. Okay, cool. It's in your turn. Who's up next? Duncan, your turn.
I'm gonna use... Can I use a crossbow at this distance?
I think it would be with disadvantage.
I'm gonna use my mace, which I never use.
Oh, awesome. So you're gonna give it a bonk.
I'm gonna bonk it on the head.
Yeah, give it a good
bonk. Bonk it! That's gonna be like the meme. Bonk.
Bonk.
I bonked it.
Awesome. Okay, so that hits. Give me your...
Yes! Oh my god, good bonk!
What was that?
The best bonk.
6 damage?
6.
Okay, nice. So you give it a good bonk. It takes it right on the head, right on the cranium, and it kind of growls and shakes its head. Clearly that bonk was impactful. And it's not looking good. It's looking like it might be on its last legs.
I do feel bad for it. But yeah.
Very sad.
I bonk, then I heal. Anything else? Any bonus actions?
I just say I wish it didn't have to be this way. Not really. I do not say that.
Okay.
No, we're in the heat of battle, baby.
Right. All right, Jay's up. He's gonna attack the one who's attacking you, Duncan. Try and take it out before it can do any more damage to you. Where's my Jay? As usual, he's just going in with the sword. Jay! So his first attack isn't it?
We're gonna have a chat.
Oh my god, he's out here judging us?
Explanations for this. I don't have any explanations. Really... Just having an off night. Well, I mean, he's still, he's having a moment in general, I guess, so it makes sense.
True.
I feel kind of bad. He was having such a nice day, clearly, and then we ruined it.
His second hit lands, and he does, 2 damage. What? Oh, 4 damage. Okay, 4 damage. 4 damage to this Wolfie. So he just slashes it with his sword. Now it is the wolf's turn by you, Rita, and it's going to... Oop, it's not going to take your glaive.
No, that was me on accident.
It's going to give you a chomp, a bite. 20?
Does it still roll a d4, please?
I think so. It lasts a minute, right?
That was so that's 5 rounds.
Okay, yeah. So
is it?
Hold on, 6 seconds per round of combat. So 10 rounds, no?
Yeah.
10 rounds.
10. Each round takes 6 seconds, 60 seconds to a minute, so 10 rounds a minute.
Oh, whoops, that was a... Hold on, oh no, that was right. Okay, so 4, so it's 16?
That
so
means it literally does not hit.
Okay, great. So Duncan's Bane has saved you once again.
Yes! Duncan!
And it misses.
I need to use Bane more often. I think this is the first time he's ever used it.
It's such a good spell!
Alright, it is now the wolf's turn that is attacking Duncan, and it goes in for another bite. 18?
Time. -4?
Oh, right. How do I forget every time?
Oh, it doesn't matter. It hits.
Okay, it hits. Alright, so it gets another bite in. Oh, 13 damage.
Alright, that's okay. I'm coming up soon.
Okay. Takes a good old
13?
bite of your leg. Yep, 13 damage.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, no, you're doing so
down on one knee.
No!
Yeah!
Rita, do you have a reaction to watching this wolf tearing your brother?
Yeah, wait, what? No, I'm not letting that happen. Is the wolf like as close to me as it is?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You're next to it.
Okay. I'm gonna use my reaction to do Sentinel. When a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against a target other than you, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against the attacking creature.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay. 16.
Alright, that hits.
11.
11. Okay. Oh, goodness. This one is done. It is dead. It falls. Its body collapses into the sand.
Thank you, sister.
Dead.
Oh my gosh, are you okay?
I'm gonna be alright. I got something coming up.
Okay.
Rita, it is now your turn.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna attack this wolf.
So
that
the
hits
wolf
22.
Barks out in anguish, seeing its, packmate die. 22, that hits for sure.
Yells out. I feel bad for it. Oh,
it's
well.
sad.
I tried screaming it away and it didn't work. 5.
It's true. 5 damage?
Yeah.
Alright, anything else?
No.
Okay. In that case, it is Duncan's turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna use False Life. And it just heals. I just roll and it heals.
Awesome.
Yes.
temporary or
nice.
whatever it's called, but I'll add it and then we'll figure out after the battle.
I mean, I think if you have that much missing, it just goes to your regular HP, right?
Have that much missing.
I'm pretty sure you only apply it to temporary hit points if you're going over your total.
Oh, I see.
I'm pretty sure that's the case.
That makes sense. Yeah. I never knew how that really worked, but that makes sense. Let me look it up.
Temp I'm pretty sure. I'll look it up while we keep going.
Okay, great. Thank you. Duncan, anything else you wanted to do?
That's
okay. Great.
Well, actually, if I'm going to, I don't like the angle I'm at, just in case. So I'm going to move right up here.
Okay, cool. Ranger Jay's turn. He is going to go for the wolf with his swords, as usual. Oh, finally. Okay, let's go, Jay. He hits. Does 5 damage. He tries hitting it. Oh, nope, not that. Tries hitting it again. Hits again. And does 4 damage, so that's a total of 9. So yeah, he takes 2 swipes at this beast with his swords. Does 9 damage. And then it is the wolf's turn.
Yeah, it says they're different from hit points, so they're not healing. They're just.
Okay, so no matter what, you add them to temp, the temp section.
Yeah, you add them to temp.
Okay, but then once he gets hit, they go away first, right? So it's like just like protecting.
Yeah, those go away first. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Where do I put?
They're worth like a buffer.
Is there a place to put it on?
Yes.
This thing?
Yes, on the sheet, right next to your HP, there's a little temp box. Do you see? It's not a box. It's just like literally right next to it. Your current max and then temp at the top of your sheet on the right side.
Oh, okay. Do that in a second.
Okay. It is now. Oh, right, it's the wolf's turn, so it's gonna try and bite you again, Rita. You're right in front of it. 11. Oh wait, that's not. What did he roll? 6. Okay, so that doesn't hit. So it's now your turn, Rita.
Okay. 16.
That hits.
11.
11, damn. Okay, so yeah, you get a really good hit in, slashing it right across the face. It growls and barks in pain, and looks like it's, on its last legs. It's not doing well. Anything else?
Can I just be like, shoot?
You say shoot?
Yeah, shoo. Like,
oh, shoot.
I'm trying to tell it to just fuck off.
You can give me an intimidation. Yeah, you can try. Just saying shoo, I'll say can be a bonus action for sure. 16? Okay, yeah, it doesn't work. Your first one was a 16 and it didn't work then, and it's not working now.
Fine.
Alright, Duncan, your turn.
I'm gonna crossbow.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Right.
Okay. Crossbow. Ooh. I don't think I hit.
7? No, not quite. Okay, well, since we've lost Fern, let's go ahead and just take 5.
Okay.
We'll resolve this after the break.
Gotcha.
sent JT off on a break as well, so.
Okay.
So if he gets back.
Yeah, I saw. I came back and then nobody was here, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go grab some chips.
Oh, I wanted to show you this bracelet that my friend Shannon made for me. I don't know if you can see that, but it has this little blue mushroom on it. It is so Wishing Trials. I was like, oh my god, she doesn't even know.
She doesn't even know.
She doesn't even know. It's adorable.
That is cute. Shannon from the theater?
No, Shannon is from Kaya. She's the clone of a certain person that I mentioned before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's really sweet.
It's nice that you guys have been able to be friends.
Oh yeah, I mean she's nothing like her really.
I know, but I know that you mentioned her back when you were like working at the cafe and stuff. You haven't mentioned her much since.
Right. Yeah. Right now it's been nice to retain those friendships. Working at the cafe was good for something other than money.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Thought these wolves were gonna take y'all out for a second.
Not gonna lie, I was pretty scared when I saw him.
It's a good thing you got rid of that third one, imagine.
Mm-hmm. No, it's taking a lot of damage to get them to go down.
Mm-hmm.
They're very strong, especially compared to the imps. The imps went down pretty quickly.
Yeah. I love how Rita's just doing this with this bag of gold on her back.
Yeah, she's drunk. She's carrying 200 pounds of gold.
Just buff as hell out here, wasted, swinging her glaive around.
Dealing with a bunch of inner turmoil.
Right, yeah.
And
Very
you know what?
funny.
She's still killing it. Still killing
it, absolutely. Always, absolutely. I don't know what is going on with Jay. Dude, the amount of bad rolls is actually kind of wigging me out a little. So many.
It's a lot of bad rolls.
It's so funny.
That always happens though when you have like a cool NPC though. It's like, act cool, please.
Yeah, no, I mean it actually makes total sense. I don't know why I was cool. Like RP wise, it makes absolute sense. There's no reason to question it really. But it's just funny because I was like, yeah, Jay will protect them. Meanwhile, Jay.
Meanwhile, we're just like, here's my shield, bro. Get it together.
Just get it together. I scared one away. I protected you. I killed you. So funny.
Dude, Rita's gonna be so embarrassed when she sobers up because she still thinks that Jay is really cool and hot. So she's just gonna be like, oh my god.
He's also gonna be embarrassed when she sobers up, so. Yes, we're like, how much of the battles last night do you remember? Cause, yeah, not my finest.
I feel like Rita's just one of those drunks that, like, unless she opens her mouth, you wouldn't know, you know?
Right. Yeah, she just always has kind of a composed air, and then she starts talking, and it's like, oh, something has happened.
Yeah, her balance is fine, her composure is fine. It's like, oh my
her
god,
mental
what'd she say?
state. Well, it was made even funnier because for some reason your mic was dropping like every other word for a bit, so you'd be trying to say something and it would just be like this garbled, drunken. Oh
it happens all the time. I've been noticing. I'm just gonna have to get a new mic.
Yeah. That one's pretty old, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Had it since 2019.
That is pretty old for a mic.
Yeah. I might just invest in a Shure SM7.
I don't think I've seen those.
It's the ones that, like, every fucking streamer uses. It's like $400 or something.
Well, that's not bad.
Not the most expensive mic out there, but it's supposed to be better than the Yeti.
Is it still just a USB?
I don't think so. I think it's an XLR, but I should have an easy time using it because I have the Wave XLR from Elgato.
Right.
So I have a port.
Oh yeah, so you might as well get an XLR mic.
Yeah.
No.
I'm out of chips.
Good work. Proud of you.
I really want to figure out what Jay's relationship is with the community and court.
Well, I mean, Rita doesn't seem to have any issue just asking, so I'm sure she'll figure it out.
It's literally just because she's drunk. That's why I've been pushing it, because I'm like, I don't think this sober would want to like press someone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, excellent. So it is Duncan's turn. Oh wait, or did you just go?
I feel like I just went.
Yeah, I think you just went actually.
Did I just do the temporary HP?
No, you just did a crossbow attack. You just did a crossbow attack, and it didn't.
Oh, I did. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Ranger J is up. He's going to attack the last remaining, obviously, with the sword. And he hits. Does 7 damage. Go again. Hits. Does 8. So 8 plus 7, 15 damage. So he's getting back in his stride. I'm sorry, did I just say 15 damage?
17.
Okay, yeah, so the wolf's dead.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of gives a little battle cry and stabs one sword directly into its chest and then the other into its back, and it gives a yip and it goes down.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, but you're all alive. You survive. And there's just kind of this silence. And Jay looks at you, Rita, and says, "Anything you want from the wolves?"
Actually, yeah. I don't feel right taking their fur. I mean, should I? Do you want some boots, Duncan?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Okay. So I'm gonna skin the wolves. I'll just skin the biggest one.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna remove their canines.
Okay, so as you take your time doing that, you hear Lucky say from the back, "Light, come out."
Yeah.
Duncan, what are you doing while she's doing that?
So, strangely enough, I have Caroline's healing tea still in my
that's some old ass, cold, crusty ass tea.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
it's drink fermented. It's kombucha now.
Yeah, if it's fermented, does it heal more than 5?
No, it hasn't quite fermented yet, but yeah, it'll heal 5 for sure.
Okay.
So yeah, you heal 5.
If you want, I still have some of those little crystals.
Really? What do they do?
I have 3 healing crystals that give you 2 HP each.
Well, I have 13, and my max is 35. Should I don't know. Let me see what I got. Hold on. I got.
Because I have some healing potions and stuff, but I've been holding on to these healing crystals just in case we needed to like use them during something where we're going to be attacked multiple times.
So Skelly and Lucky come crawling out. Jay turns to you, Duncan, seeing that you're in a pretty bad way, and he says, I've got stuff, I've got healing stuff. It's included in your cost, so if you want something.
Yeah, hit me with it. Something that'll make me feel at least 2/3 better if you have that.
Okay, well first he's gonna cast Cure Wounds on you, and he heals 9.
How does he cast it? Because I'm assuming he's a bard.
Yes, so he comes up to you, Duncan, and he's got his harpsichord out, and he kind of closes his eyes in concentration and plays some notes. And you find your cuts and the bite marks and everything healing up a bit. And it's a very, yeah, I don't think, I'm gonna say in your experience, Duncan, you've probably never been healed by a bard before. So it surprises you how much of like an uplifting experience it is. Like it's not just like you're being healed physically. There's kind of like an emotional element to it as well. And then he hands you a... What did I give him? Potion... I think I gave him some...
So what do I do for the...
You just heal yourself 9. I think that's what it was, right? Yeah.
Okay.
And then he hands you a potion of greater healing. Do you want to drink it now or later?
Later. I'll hold it.
Okay, so go ahead and add. You can search a potion of greater healing and put it in your inventory, or you can just remember that he gave you one. And but if you add one, then you'll be able to roll it from there. So it's just a little more convenient. But I can roll it for you when the time comes if you want to use it. Yeah. So he offers you those things. He turns to you, Rita, and says, "What about you? You need anything?"
I'm pretty okay. I have a couple scratches from that bite from that imp, but I don't know. Are there bigger things than the wolves out here?
Well, we're gonna be coming up on the Knowles camp, but hopefully we won't be fighting them. But also I think we're gonna, if we do fight them, my goal tonight, and by the way, you've been out here for a couple hours now, out traveling, so you're getting pretty tired, and it's getting to the point where you can tell that like dawn is coming. You're kind of moving from night into morning. And he says, "My goal is just to sneak past the Knowles camp for now and deal with them in the morning. They tend to sleep during the day, so we could sneak past them. We're going to be coming up on the wall soon. Before that, we have to pass through the large ancient temple. It was a Mercule temple. It's one of the biggest ones we're going to have to go through, but it also acts as good cover so the Knowles don't see us. My point is we hopefully will not be dealing with them tonight if we can be sneaky enough. So...
Do you have another song in you?
I do. And he plays it again. And you heal... 5.
Perfect. I didn't need that much.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Hey, Jay, are you doing okay? Because I feel like I'm making you nervous, and I don't want that. That's only, gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just been in my head, but I'm good. Yeah, I didn't take any hits, so my failing is a failure to protect the two of you, not myself. But you know, you both came out alive. You seem capable of protecting yourselves and each other, so I think we're gonna do okay.
Yeah. That might help because I feel like I'm making you nervous. So just give me 1 second. Duncan, don't look. Don't look. Rita's just gonna kind of go off to the side and she's gonna stick her finger down her throat and try to make herself throw up.
Do I? Okay.
Give me a Constitution, I guess. I wouldn't even call that a Constitution save. I think that's just maybe survival. I don't know. You decide.
Do I hear that with 16 perception?
Well, we'll see
8. I can't make myself throw up.
No, so if anything, Duncan, you hear like a little bit of gagging, but there's no vomiting, so...
Damn it! Okay, I'm sorry. I just have too good of a constitution. It's not happening. I was
Jay laughs and says, yeah, well, I think we've all been there. Well, maybe not you, Naknud. Hi. Skeletons, okay.
That's Skelly, that's Lucky. Lucky Skelly, this is Jay. Jeremiah.
Okay. Yeah, nice to meet you. I'm Jeremiah. Thanks for coming. And Lucky says, "Thank you for acting as our tour guide. I am from the Bay of Cups. This is where I herald from, and it's a good opportunity for me to see what's become of my old home. I have some questions for you, if you don't mind, about the way it's been upkept." And Jay says, "Yeah, that's understandable. Since Gorin's Bane, which I'm guessing you lived here before that happened, it really hasn't been upkept. This area used to be in danger of. Are you okay, Rita? You okay?"
My bag is on my butt. Can you help me out? Because I keep trying to move it and it just moves.
Wait, okay.
I'm
Stop
struggling.
flipping. Stop moving. There you go.
I'm sorry.
All right. So, Jay continues. This area used to be. It was thought that Gorin's Bane was going to overtake it within the past decade, but thanks to his grace, Prince Kor, it was detained to the other half of the desert, which we're approaching. So theoretically, it could have been better upkept, but there was just so much fear of the plant that it was kind of abandoned. But yeah, I imagine it looked different when you lived here. Sorry, if I may ask, are you an elf or? And Lucky says, "Yes, I am of the Fae. I traveled here with the first immigrants who came during the war." And Jay says, "Oh wow, that was about 800 years ago. Um, that must have been quite an experience. I'm sure there are a lot of people in the Bay who would love to talk to you. And I'm guessing the two of you are alive because of the curse." "Yes, and because of my burning desire to gamble." And Jay says, "Oh, yeah, I get a lot of people who have that burning desire. That's usually who I'm escorting on these trips. And yeah, I'm sure you'll get plenty of it, assuming Gorin's Bane doesn't eat you." Oh, well, uh, speaking of which, we should really continue. Um,
Yep.
he kind of continues on. Skelly and Lucky have joined the party and they trail along with you.
I don't know how that happened.
And as you're going, Lucky keeps talking about, what he's seeing. And he says, Ranger, you said that. Oh, it was my fault. Hold on, Rita, I'll get you. There you go. Ranger, you said that, we were about to pass through a Temple of Mercule. Yeah, it's right up here. We're getting to it now. I would ask you all to keep quiet as we go through here. Keep your voices down. The gnolls are just north of this, and we don't want them, seeing us.
Hey,
so keep
guys,
behind
get
the
back into the
walls
bag.
as much as you can. Oh, get back! But this temple, I might recognize it.
You're too loud, both of you. Get in the bag.
Both notoriously loud. Here's the deal. You can stick your head out of the bag. But you gotta get in the bag.
We're gonna say Duncan just gave you the help, Rita, so roll persuasion with advantage.
They're so loud. 18.
Okay, 18. Yeah, they get back in the bag.
You can stick your head out, it's fine. Nobody's stopping you from doing that, but just be quiet.
Duncan, as you're approaching this temple to Mercule, you immediately feel kind of like drawn to the south. So like below the temple. And as you're kind of tuning into that feeling, let me see if there's a sound effect for this. I don't know if there is. Oh yeah. Oh no. You hear some like groaning down in that direction, like some pain. And Jay says, it's best to just ignore that. We should keep going.
Well, I feel like I can't ignore that. What is that? Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
The less pretty side of the curse, I'm afraid. Not everyone has such an easy time with the passage back to life. which I'm sure you understand.
No,
well,
that's
maybe I can
horrible.
provide some assistance, or at least speak to them.
Well, it takes us further away from the Knolls, so if you want to try, I guess follow me. So yeah, in this temple to Mercule, right outside in this big courtyard, it seems like there used to be a big graveyard. And the tombstones are all worn down and, covered in sand. And you notice that a lot of the graves seem to have been, like, somehow dug up, whether by the being inside or by someone else you don't know. It could be grave robbers, it could be, the skeletons digging themselves out of their graves. Um, but in Jay leads you over to this corner where there's still a figure attempting to get out of its own grave, but it doesn't seem to have the strength or willpower, or you're not sure what the issue is, but it can't seem to get out, and it seems to be in pain. And Jay just looks down at it sadly and says, "Yeah, the curse. It's really spreading quickly."
So this person had the curse and then was buried, but is not dead, or is dead but trying to fight it?
Well, this person is dead and probably has been dead for many years. The curse. Do you guys not have you not learned about the curse in any kind of depth?
Heard about it. The Curse of the Valley. Apparently, it comes from the mines.
Well, what it essentially does is it pushes all passed on beings back along the path to life, kind of reversing what happened when they died. For some, like the two in your bag, it seems, that was an agreeable proposition, and they willingly came back to life and have goals and ambitions. I'm guessing you found those two within the mines themselves.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so those are a little bit different. On the edges of the curse, we get things like this. Or if there's a being who was at peace when they died and they're being forced back up the path to life, uh, they don't have such an easy time of it, the transition. If we leave them here long enough, they will probably manage to get out of their graves and start wandering around like the rest of them, but yeah, it's not pretty.
Well, then I'll do my little Aegis ritual.
Yeah, Duncan, you can help.
Oh, okay. I guess you can try.
Okay.
Yeah, so give me an Arcana. Yeah, so what do you do?
Well, I was gonna do more of like a religious sort of thing rather than like a magic thing. But I was going to. I have in my inventory the Aegis glass and the Aegis Bible. And so what I do is I go down onto my knees with the Bible set out in front, and I go through the pages and read some scriptures related to the boundaries of life and death and the linearity of it all.
Okay.
And
yeah, you can go ahead and give me religion with advantage.
Oh. Well, that's not good. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay. So you feel you just coming to your cause, and you can kind of feel his presence with you. And you look down at the corpse that's struggling, and suddenly the kind of like garbled, snarling noises it was making seem to form words, and it says, "Help me."
Okay. With the Aegis glass in my hand, I'm clasping them both together in my hand, which is something that I do. And I have my eyes closed while I'm clasping the Aegis glass between my palms, and I say, "How can I help?"
he says, "Let me rest."
Then I ask the thing, are you... Something is calling you back to life. Are you prepared to let that rest so that you may rest?
I don't know what would be calling me. I was so satisfied with my life. I ended in a peaceful state. Why am I being forced back into this broken body?
There is a curse going through the land, so it is not your fault. Your body is fighting against your spirit. And so what you will need to do is not focus on these two voices that might be arguing with you, which is Lathander, life, and Mercule, death, but look a little outside of the boundaries. I don't know what you can see in your state, really, but there's a voice there, Eugis, who's going to be standing out of the boundary, I guess, going to be asking you, who's going to take your hand and guide you to the appropriate destination. So I need you to start ignoring Lathander and Mercule, and you start ignoring light and dark, both, and look for something somewhere in the middle, the gray area.
It looks like, he's trying to concentrate on this. And as you're saying this, Duncan, you see appearing by the grave a suit of armor that looks like your good old pal Eugis. Rita, you cannot see this.
That's crazy, though.
You do see, though, you don't see Eugis himself, Rita, but you do see that some kind of new light source is emanating at the head of the grave, and it kind of fills the area with this other light. This makes Jay nervous. He looks over his shoulder, like, that's not special Lathander light, that is just light. So he's kind of getting nervous. But he doesn't say anything.
I'm gonna put my hand on Jay's shoulder and just say, trust him. He knows what he's doing.
So since I have my eyes closed and the Eugis glass in my hands, is the light like going through my eyelids? Like I know this is working because like I can see that the light has picked up through my eyelids?
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
And
I think also I'm gonna adopt this into like a story that I've been like, am I familiar with this? Like this is something that like I've heard about in my studies?
Yes, you just will come to the aid of people who are having trouble passing on special occasions.
Okay, and then I want to, if this still works with what you've got going on right now, that like this is famously like in the temple, like we're taught since we're young that if we succeed in this and like you just has like moved on to like do the ritual, that like it is very tempting for us to open our eyes and like glance upon Eugis' form, but the light, or we think the light is one way or another, but it will actually make things worse, or it might end the ritual, or it might blind us. There's a lot of theories because none of the clerics there, of course, have ever broken that sacred ritual.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to adopt that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you're keeping your eyes closed.
Yes.
Okay, I love that. That's beautiful. So you're keeping your eyes closed, but you can see the light and you feel a kind of warmth. And you hear the struggling form go quiet. Is there anything else you want to say or do, or are you just waiting to see what Eugis does?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
Until the light has faded from behind my eyelids or whatever.
Okay, yeah. So, you hear the being go still and silent, and Rita, you see all of this happen. The creature kind of goes limp and falls back into its grave, and as if being moved by some kind of, it's not like natural, it's not like wind or something, but sand comes over and starts falling into the grave again, and covers the figure, and it goes quiet, and the grave is recovered. And Duncan, wow. As that happens, you hear this, you hear the quietness, but the light also fades from your eyelids, and it all goes dark again, except for your lantern, obviously.
Okay, yeah. So with that, I open my eyes and I look, and then I say, yes! And then I close my book with my little Aegis glass inside of it as the bookmark, and put it in my little rucksack.
All right. Jay is clearly, very moved by what he's just witnessed. Rita, how are you doing?
I'm really moved, and like, I feel like Rita has also just like, ever since the Isle of Wands, when people mentioned that this might have been their fault, well, Core mentioned that this would have been their fault for removing the skeletons and stuff. I think she's been like very nervous that they did the wrong thing. But in the back of her mind, she's always just kind of been like, but we did the right thing, because the skeletons and the skull, they couldn't be there. They weren't supposed to be there. And like, Duncan knows about death, kind of thing. I think that's always been in the back of her mind.
Right.
And I kind of feel like right now she just feels vindicated. Like, yeah, hell yeah, Duncan does know what he's doing. Like, like, we did the right thing, and that's good.
Yeah, and Jay saying that being so close to the origins is comforting. That's why the skeletons were the way they were.
Duncan, how are you feeling about what just happened?
I feel like because I haven't actually like hit this level before, like with my clericness, because before I just did rituals over like graves. I think was like in an early village we were in. I did like rituals over graves or something. I forget.
Yeah. And Groofdom.
Yeah. So this, I feel like I'm becoming more of like a practicing cleric as opposed to like a theoretical cleric, and I feel emboldened, a little bit more a man than a boy.
Right. So as like, you're all settling from this nice moment, you hear not that. You hear more of the kind of sounds that corpse was making, and Jay moves down. There are many graves. And he's like clearly looking to see if there's more, and he finds one. I don't know how many of those you got in you, Duncan, but
well, is that Jay saying that?
Yeah.
Well, I guess if we have the time, I would like to help. I mean, where are we camping?
Yeah, it's just past the temple, so I mean, I'm not gonna say don't do it.
Well, yeah. You said it's just past the temple. Like how far is the walk? Like, would I be able to do this and be like in sight of the camp, or what?
Oh, you mean if they went and you stayed?
Or like if we went to camp set up and then like I would kind of.
Oh, I see. He says, yeah, I mean we can return and we can set up camp first. It's a bit of a walk, but we can come back.
Yeah, let's do that just so that we can secure that, but I would like to come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lucky Skelly, you guys okay with that?
Of course. Fine. You could just leave these things here. I mean, once the curse is taken care of, they'll all just return to dust.
Okay, would you have liked it if we had left you in the Death Mines? Have you not had a good time?
I'll have you know that if you hadn't offered to take me out of the Death Mines, I was going to kill you, so.
I mean, you could have tried.
Yeah, you wouldn't have succeeded, though.
Yeah.
Duncan. A page swirls out of the darkness towards you.
Oh, hell yeah, boy.
Yes! Ooh!
It is
Give me that horse.
The Knight of Cups.
Give him that horse.
And with that, you get the blessing of clear depths, which I'll put in the thing, and you can purify any water. Which Jay just informed you of, apparently.
I love whenever that happens.
So funny.
Thank you, Jay.
He's like, let me explain this. No, but yeah, so now you can purify any water that you come across.
That's what I'm talking about.
Are you able to pick it up? Or do I need to? No, you should be able to pick it up.
Got him.
There you go. It's a bit large. Yeah, okay, and then Jay says, okay. Yeah, let's move on then. See if we can get past here without the gnolls noticing us. Okay, so everyone is gonna make a stealth.
Wait, hold on. Before we do that, I have guidance. And you touch one willing creature once before the spell ends. The target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice.
Okay. Who are you giving that to?
It can roll the die before or after making the ability check. The spell then ends. And since it's a cantrip, I'm just going to make it on everybody, see if they do it. Like, let them go the whole course, and then I'll go to the next person.
Okay.
So I'll start with Jay. I'm sure he's good, but I'll do that on Jay, so he can add 1d4.
He does have disadvantage, so that was very nice of you. So he got an 11. Wait. Oh no, he got 18, so he's good. But he'll keep the d4.
Now on to Sister.
Oh my god, I really needed it. Really need it.
Oh shit. 6. Okay. Yeah, so go ahead and add that d4.
That is such a bad roll.
We also have a spare. I think you have a spare inspiration, do you? Or did you use it?
I don't. I used it.
Okay. And then I will use... I'll do mine.
I roll a d4?
Yes, and you add it.
Oh, Duncan did it. So...
No. That was my first stealth roll, but I'm going to use one of my 2 inspirations that I got. So I have the second one.
Oh my god. It's an 8. Dude, stealth is supposed to be good for me. I have a +4. I rolled a 2.
Alright, here's my next
one. So yeah, you're
kind
of clattering around a bit with that bag of coins. Yeah, so you're a little noisy. Duncan, alright.
You add this to it, so 18.
Okay, so yeah, Duncan and Jay are doing great. They're very quiet. Rita, you're kind of jingling along behind them. And Jay turns back to you with this look of like, really?
Coin? What? Do you see how big this bag is? I don't know what to do.
Alright, well, just move more slowly or something.
Do you think that we're in danger, Jay, or should I give her my potion of invisibility?
Oh, I still have mine. No, you need to hold on to that. We need that.
I mean, it won't stop her from being so loud, so let's just keep going.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure it's fine. As you leave the...
I'm gonna get us killed.
Yeah, as you leave the,
He said yeah.
Yes. As you leave the temple, you see that there is a gnoll poking around in the dark, sniffing. Clearly,
shut up.
heard the clinking of the bags. He hasn't seen you yet. Rita, what do you do? Because Jay and Duncan would have no trouble sneaking past. Do you try any tactics when you see it? Do you just stand still? Do you
try hiding behind a rock and just sit down and hold the bag so it doesn't move?
So as it's sniffing around, you can all try hiding behind this rock. And Jay just gives you the like shh symbol. Let me go ahead and make an investigation for the gnoll. Where are your gnoll brethren? Give me that link. Okay. Let's see. I guess we'll just do an intelligence. Sure. Ooh.
Oh,
Oh man.
oh,
Yeah, so he
no,
knows. He knows where you
no,
are.
no.
He comes
Can I
sniffing
grab a
around the
rock and
rock.
throw it in the opposite direction of us?
Sure, go for it. Give me a survival dexterity. I don't know. Well, I
Sleight
mean,
of
you're
hand.
sleight of
Dexterity?
hand. Yeah, sleight of hand makes sense because you're trying to make it seem like there's like another creature over there. So yeah, I guess that makes sense.
21.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna make one more
Okay, grab
intelligence
a big
roll.
rock.
Yeah. Oh
Oof.
shit. Okay. Yeah, so the
Yes!
knoll is fully distracted, and you see it turn suddenly and is like sniffing in that direction, and it wanders off into the darkness.
That reminds me of that one Lord of the Rings movie where they're like hiding in the little cave and there's the people stomping above them and they barely
Oh
don't.
my god, yes!
So perfect.
Totally. Yeah. So Jay, who is kind of holding his breath, like puts a hand of like relief on your shoulder, Rita, and just kind of pats it like, good job.
I think Rita's just gonna fully like slump over against him and just be like, oh my god, that was so close.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, and he's gonna like
Praise
kind of
Pinter, that was crazy.
continue giving you the shush, and he comes over here and says, "Okay, well, this is where we'll be camping.
What? Okay.
Yep, this is the wall. This is the wall that separates the untainted desert from the tainted desert. So do not, I don't know why you would do this, but do not go over the wall without telling me what you're doing. We'll sleep here for the night. It's almost morning. And as you look out at the horizon, you can see that indeed it is becoming brighter and slightly pink out there. So it does look like the sun is about to rise.
I'm looking. I'm looking.
Yep, looking. um,
Also,
and
what color is the sky? There's like this old sailor superstition that if sunrise
mm,
is red, then that's bad luck. So I'm just like, fuck.
no, it's like a periwinkle morning.
Oh, okay, we're good.
Um,
Jamie's
Jake,
like, it's blood red.
yeah,
Blood
it's
red.
fucking just pouring out of your own veins. So
Obviously,
Jay,
just a superstition, so like,
Jay starts to busy himself and sets up a little tent.
Oh my gosh, you got that done quick.
He actually sets up 2 tents. I mean,
Oh
it takes him a bit. He's over there doing that, setting those up. Well, you stare at the sunrise, Rita, and from that you do gain inspiration.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you.
And yeah, so the sun riseth, and like even just as it's starting to rise, you feel kind of like the heat as it's getting warmer. It's getting that daytime temperature coming on. And Jay turns to you both and looks at the tents and says, are you guys good sharing or what?"
Yeah.
Share all the time.
Okay, well, I recommend getting some shut eye, laying low so the gnolls don't come back, um, putting that bag down.
Ah, yeah, okay. I set it down.
Lucky and Skelly emerge, and Lucky says, "Oh, yes, I remember these rocks. This desert makes me think of my childhood."
Aw.
And Jay says, "No, not Ranger Jay, we're Skelly." And Jay says, "Well, perhaps we could use a bedtime story."
Yeah, actually, I have something to ask about that. Lucky, you're old. Do you remember Lord Oram from back in your childhood?
Orem, yes, he was the first of the creatures. Well, I suppose calling them creatures is probably not considered correct anymore, but he was the first of the great lords from the Feywilds who approached the Hyro family. I never met him
Oh,
myself. I was not a nobility, but there were many stories about him.
The first to approach the Hyro family?
Yes.
What does that mean?
General Airden Hyro traveled here 800 years ago, leading the elves who are settled here now, and he he established the kingdom, and after some time, some some creatures began greeting the royal family and the new monarchy, and Orem was one of the first, if memory serves. I don't remember anyone showing up before him, but they were creatures who were apparently native to this land and had only good intentions in welcoming the Hyros and the rest of the elves who had fled the war in Greater Norland.
See, so Orem's family and people are native to this land?
Well, they are of the Feywild. I don't believe they would consider themselves native to any aspect of the material plane. Perhaps I misspoke. As I said, I am not a noble myself. I don't really know the details. I was a mere farmer. I farmed here. We had many succulent plants and cactus fruit, and it looks different now. Everything is so dry. I'm confused. What has happened? And Jay says, yeah, that's actually not just Gorin's Bane. I think there's been a shift in attitude and priorities, you could say, since your days. And Lucky says, do people still observe the spiritual cycles here? The cycles of emotion, of tears, of anguish? And Jay says, no, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, but no, I don't think so.
We did today. That sounds familiar, doesn't it, Rita?
Yeah, I think that's why we were made champions of summer. There was a tree, and then Duncan and I found out that our brother, who we presume to be dead, is not. And so we ended up crying together, and then the tree came back to life.
And then there was the laughing and the screaming.
Yeah, the laughing and the screaming. And yeah.
Well, I'm very sad to learn that those ways have been lost from this area, but I'm rejoiced to know that you two are already paving the way for it to return. May I tell you of the old ways? I won't be offended if you fall asleep.
No, I really want to hear about this.
Yeah, I'm taking out my notepad and taking notes because I'm going to use this in my performance.
Yeah, and if we can do something to try to help this region, like if we can spread this old practice and it would help, the desert and everything, that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Jay sits down in front of one of the tents and takes out his harpsichord and is just kind of plucking at it idly. And Lucky looks at him and says, it is very strange, the silence here. I know that you are a young man, Ranger. Perhaps, like other things, this song has been lost to time, but I don't suppose you know. And he names an elven song. And even though you understand Elvish, Duncan, it's one of those things where it's like a formal title, so you don't really know what it means. And Jay kind of perks up a little. It's like he perks up, but there's also like definitely an edge of melancholy. And he says, oh, and he looks at you two like he doesn't want to give too much away, but he says, yeah, I do know that song. And Lucky says, oh, you must have been classically trained then. I'm very surprised. Even in my time, only the finest musicians were able to play it. I didn't think there was even the slightest chance. And Jay says, yeah, I know it. He's like, shut up. And Lucky says, well, it would mean a great deal to me if you would play it. I have not heard it many years, and it's just so silent here, just very strange, except for the strange creatures. And Jay starts kind of plucking at his harpsichord, and it's clearly a little rusty, like he hasn't played this song in a long time, but he gets into it and starts playing. And Lucky says, "Well, I will tell you of the ancient philosophy of cups that was practiced reverently in my time, and which I think is of benefit to all people, whether or not they reside in this sacred land." What do you two do? Do you settle in?
Oh yeah, I'm writing.
Okay.
Yeah, I settle in to listen, but this has been sort of on Rita's mind for a bit. I think she's just gonna idly check the leather pouch that they have with the cards. She never checked to see if the Fool card was in there after the dream. She just wants to check if it's there.
It is, yeah. She finds it.
At a certain point during Lucky's story, I do want to say, I'm sorry, Lucky, I don't think I've ever asked, but I think I always assumed that all of you were humans because of the shape of your skulls, but then I realized there's like half-elves and there's all kinds of other stuff, so there's really no telling, so I guess what I'm trying to say is, are all of you humans? Were you humans, I mean?
Lucky says, "No, I was an elf. I fled the Greater Norland. I fled the humans."
Jesus, Lucky, say something. Oh my god.
I know, man. We could have been using you to eavesdrop on people. Not that we would have, but...
Oh, it was my understanding that young Master Daykeep speaks Elven.
Yeah, but, you know, sometimes it's risky to send Duncan out to do things.
And Skelly says, "Yeah, why didn't you tell them? I thought you were human as well. Perhaps we can't be friends after all."
Well, what? Don't say that. You guys are best friends.
Well, I'm a human.
Are you human? Oh, okay.
Yes, and he fled the humans in Greater Norland, so I wouldn't be surprised if you hate me. And Lucky says, "No, not at all. You see, because I am very reverent of the old ways, I recognize that such fears only get in the way of happiness, and happiness must be our true goal on this earth." And then he kind of goes into, the old philosophy, and he says, "There are only 4 primary states of being in this life. There is, of course, happiness, tranquility, the good moments. And this can only be disrupted by fear. But as you all know, we frequently feel fear." And he kind of looks around at you to get nods. Are you agreeing?
Nodding.
Yeah.
And he says, "And that is something that we tend to resist. And fear is often not understood in the moment. And so it brings us to the 3rd state of being, which is anger." Yeah, he waits for everyone to say yes again. Skelly
Yes.
says, yes.
Yeah, very familiar. I got really scared last night, I guess, when Orm killed me, and then I got angry.
Yes, fear and anger are closely linked. One is sure to follow the other. And then, and this is the most important and essential step of the cycle, anger must give way to grief, and that grief must be felt and accepted. Only then can we return to joy. That is the ancient philosophy of this land, and it is why we value water and clarity, and why tears are known to be holy in this space. But my sense is that people no longer allow this cycle to progress. And Jay doesn't stop playing or say anything, but he just kind of nods, like, yeah, that has been what's been going on around here. And Lucky says, "This brings me great sadness. Every step of the cycle must be accepted and celebrated, because all are necessary in order for the others to exist, including happiness. I do not think it is in my power to bring back this ancient wisdom. I am tired, and I know I have agreed to gamble with my dear friend, but truly after that I wish only to return to the earth, this earth, where I found my first safe haven. To be honest, I know we haven't spoken much of our lives, but I miss my family dearly, and I know I can only get back to them by quitting this sphere again. I'm sorry, Skelly. I will miss you as well, but hopefully we can find each other there. And we could meet each other's families." "Oh, you don't want to meet my family. They're terrible." "Well, you would be welcome at my table with my family. We do not have to remain here to remain together." Scully is silent, brooding over this. You don't know that. I believe, just like the cycles of emotion, life has phases, and death is not the end. Surely you can see that traveling with Master Daykeep all this time.
Yeah, Lucky, after you do some gambling with Skelly, I'll help you go on to the next phase so that you can see your family again. And then Scully, we still have a bit of adventure to go after that. So you'll get some gambling in, and you'll probably get really tired of that. And then I bet by the end of it, you'll be excited to hang out with Lucky again and go gambling in the next phase.
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh wait, I need to do a quick roll for Lucky.
Because I teared up, Rita's also tearing up right now.
Right. I think Lucky sees that and nods to Rita and says, "You have both given me much hope that Terith can return to its original intentions of the spirit, of fleeing from what caused all of that fear, which led to anger, which we then actively chose to relieve through grief. But if that has been blocked, then I can understand why this land has been lost." And he looks at Jay, and Jay is just playing, looking very serious, just focused on the music. And you'll kind of note that despite the fact that, like, you don't know what's going on with Jay, but you know some shit has gone down in his life recently, and just, like, probably forever in his life. You haven't seen him cry, and he's not crying now. He just is focusing on the music, and it definitely seems to be very much a moment of, like there's everyone in the Bay that you kind of encountered. There's been kind of this sense of, like, for whatever reason, expressing yourself in that way, the other stakes in your life are too high to, like, let yourself break down like that, right? Like, as Skelly's talking, you can, and as you're thinking about, like, your experiences in the Bay, you can definitely see how a lot of the people you've met there are living in kind of, like, even Safiel, right?
Yeah, I was thinking of her.
Yeah, like, who is, like, this incredible old, like, woman who's so wise and clearly has, like, a lot going on and people love her. There's something being held back, just always in the Bay, even for people who are happy, right? There's just something. And that seems to be what Skelly's kind of tapping into. Yeah, so Duncan, Rita's having some tears. Duncan, what's your reaction to this?
Oh. Comfort.
Oh,
comfort.
No.
And comfort.
Comfort.
Hold on, I have to address that. I'm sorry. As you put, as you put a hand on Jay's foot, he stops playing, and he's just staring down at the ground, and he's like looking like very focused, and you can tell he's trying not to cry, but he doesn't make any move to like move your hand or anything. And
so like sort of pat his foot.
Right.
Like, like sort of like, it's fine if you cry, but like no pressure.
Lucky says, "Thank you. That was very beautiful. You're a very talented musician. I'm surprised it's not what you do for a living." And yeah, the combination of you comforting him in this moment and that statement, the tears come. But he just kind of folds his legs in and like pulls away from Eureka and just kind of like puts his face in his knees to hide. This was not how we saw his night going.
Totally.
Duncan, what are you up to? What's your move?
Well, I finished my notes and then I'm watching them too, but I think that I'm probably like at a different version of not numb, but like I've always been sort of like a scholar of these things, and so my whole life I've been listening to like really hardcore life subjects, topics, concepts, and just writing them down and always doing rituals. So throughout this, I think that I'm having the first thoughts of like, if I've been ever since like 4 or 5, 6 years old at a scholarly distance from these things, Duncan wonders like if what his actual feelings are about all of this stuff. Or has he always like sort of subjected himself to like, no, I'm always going to be a servant to those things, so I'm never going to be subject to them. So I think he's having his first thoughts about that.
Yeah, that makes total sense. It's like this is now his life. It's not just study.
Yes.
Okay. As you're kind of mulling that over, Skelly comes over to you and says quietly, "Duncan, why are they all crying? We're still going gambling, right?"
Yeah, we will still go gambling. They're just feeling things very deeply right now. I'm sure your time will come soon too, Skelly, whenever you feel things very deeply.
I'll feel things very deeply when I win at gambling.
Well, and when you lose, you'll feel things deeply too, probably.
No, that doesn't bother me. Otherwise, I would have stopped by now.
Well, what if I said you'll never gamble again? What does that make you feel?
I know that's not true.
Do you?
I will gamble again. That is my only purpose now.
I pat him on the shoulder and say, "Okay, Skelly. Okay."
So it is morning now. The sun has risen, and it's getting warm. And Jay raises his face from his knees and takes a deep breath, and smiles at you, Rita, kind of embarrassed, and says, "We should sleep. Duncan, are you wanting to go back to the graveyard after we've slept, or what's your plan?"
Yeah, well, we're gonna wait until the heat dies down. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we can take the day to sleep and then continue in the evening.
Yeah, we'll wait for then.
All right. He kind of slinks into his tent and says, good morning then."
Good morning.
And Lucky says, I want to hear more stories." And Skelly says that, and Lucky says, "Oh, very well." And they kind of continue conversing jovially in the corner over there.
Lucky, please keep at least one eye out.
We will keep guard. Those gnolls won't know what hit them, except for they won't come over here at all. So don't worry, it'll be fine.
All right.
Thank you.
And you two can go into your tent. Do you have any kind of conversation, or you just pass out?
I think with Rita crying, Duncan's gonna ask if she's doing all right.
No, I don't think I am. I think I've been drinking a lot to not deal with a lot of things on my mind. And it's just, I'm not doing okay. But it's fine.
You didn't take any more of the alcohol with you, did you?
I kind of wish I did. I'm not gonna lie, but no.
Well, I have a new trick that I think I could use on anything. If you ever did have some, I think I can turn it into water.
Please don't do that to me.
Purify everything.
Oh, oh God, I don't know. I wanted to send out letters and I forgot to send out letters. I wish I could talk to Captain, to Cressa, to my mom. I don't know what I'm doing. And that's terrifying. Because I definitely lied to both Riley and Core. I told them that we had a plan. I had half of a plan that I made up on the spot while we were still there in the palace, you know? And I have sort of a 10th of a plan for 2 other plans, you know? I want to kill Orym, I really do, but I don't think we can. I don't think we're strong enough, and that's terrifying. Because we need to get Core out, and we need to figure out a way to convince Riley to care enough about himself or care enough to just let us kidnap him. And I don't... He said some stuff that make me really scared that even if we do everything right, he would get in the way of us helping them.
He's stubborn.
Yeah.
You know what I will say, though? It's, I knew you were out at sea for a long time, and I always hear stories about how crazy it is at sea, and you never really know what to predict. You just have to kind of try your best. But I guess in some ways, I've never been at sea, but we're on land, but we're strangers in a strange land. It would be probably a bigger mistake to have big ideas about what we're supposed to do. I think we have to learn along the way, like we would have never met Scully or Lucky or probably Ranger Jay or anybody unless we stumbled into the right people and talked to the right people at the right time. Actually, we would have never met the King or Core or anybody if we didn't kind of just not know what we're doing. So sometimes I think being a little confused is probably the best gift that we can get, because then something completely unexpected is going to happen.
I think you say that, and Rita hasn't really let go of the Fool card after she found it. She just sort of taps it, like turns it in her hand, and is just like, yeah, I think you're right. I think that's the lesson here.
As you do that, Rita, you suddenly hear a very familiar sound to you, which is like the crashing of waves out at sea. And that's like your home, right? That's all you heard for years. Yeah. So it's a very comforting vibe coming from the sound.
Did you hear that?
Duncan, you did not hear that.
Me? No. What did you hear? Is somebody coming? Did you hear a monster?
No, it sounded like the waves. It sounded like the ocean.
That was weird. I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also going to say that you two did not sleep after the ball. So you've now got a full day and a full night, and you did a ball, and then you just did this long ass hike, and you had multiple battles. So as you're like having this conversation, you're both just kind of like falling, like it's like one of those like sleepover conversations where it's like becoming more and more abstract.
I think Rita holds up the full card to her face as she like lies down, and she's just like, Strength said you were supposed to help me, so you better start helping.
You just continue to hear the waves.
Fuck. I think I'm losing my mind. Duncan, can I ask you one last thing?
Let me roll real quick. Hold on. I want to see if he's still awake.
Stays awake.
I'm gonna roll.
That Constitution
what should I roll?
That'd be a Constitution save. Are you trying to stay awake?
No, because I think he was falling asleep before she started this. Okay. Before she started saying something. So I don't know. You can decide what he needs to beat to stay awake.
Yeah, let's do Constitution saving. Let's do DC 15 because you are truly exhausted. As are you, Rita. So you probably should.
I don't even know, well. Rita. You might say it. You might not even know if I'm asleep if you're saying something.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you've fallen asleep, Duncan. Rita, give me the same thing to see if you even manage to stay awake to finish the thought.
Constitution?
Yeah, Constitution save.
Come on, girl, stay awake.
Sleep is descending upon
17.
you.
Okay, yeah, she's wide awake.
Yeah, you're wired.
No, I'm wired. I'm wired. I've sobered up, so I'm like, fuck.
Duncan, do you snore?
I don't know. I don't.
Okay. I don't think you snore because you're a child, but I will say that Rita, you kind of hear that like the heavier breathing people do, and like the slower, deeper breathing people do when they're asleep, and his eyes are closed. So, and he's your little brother, so you know when he's asleep.
Yeah. Okay. Having heard that, I'm just like, okay. Well, then I just talk to the card then, and I'm just like, okay, here's the deal, fool. Being strong is getting me nowhere. And I know it's not what Captain taught me, or what Cressa taught me, or really what I kind of ever wanted for myself, but I think I'm gonna have to convince Riley that romance is a thing worth fighting for. So I gotta convince myself of that first. Because I think that's my best angle here, even though that feels very underhanded. But I think I just have to be underhanded in all aspects going forward. Otherwise, Orm's gonna kill us again. Will kill me, and then Duncan. So you let me know if that's foolish. And then I tap it on my forehead, and I'm just like, I just really need to sleep.
So as you're drifting off, you hear in response this voice, and it's the same voice you heard in your dream when you first picked up the full card. And it says, it kind of starts with like a laugh, and it's a male voice, but not... It has like a slightly different quality than when you first heard it. There's very much like kind of a vibe of like ever-shiftingness with this voice, and it says, that is a long journey, little bosun. But, in my experience, one of the only ones worth taking. And I know you will find your way. And, as the voice kind of fades away, the sound of the waves does as well, and you get this sensation of like laying on a raft in the middle of sea, but it's just still. So you can't hear anything. There's just that kind of like feeling of weightlessness. And then you hear the laugh very softly again, and you fall asleep. Okay. And that is, of course, where we will end things for tonight. No cliffhanger.
I thought you were gonna give us a cliffhanger when Skelly started doing his story time.
No, I needed to.
I was like, I want to hear about the emotions.
I needed to make sure I remembered to actually have him do that, because there have been so many like lore drop moments I've intended that I've just blown right past. I was like, no, let's get this done. So yeah, thanks for playing, guys. The combat was fun. It's fun in one more multiverse.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, Duncan calling up on Yugis? That nat 20, that was freaking iconic.
Get your ass down here, Yugis.
Yugis, come on, let's talk.
He deserves a second imp skin wallet just for that.
I mean, they have enough coin.
For all that cash, yeah.
They're just flush with banknotes. Oh, man.